Let's get the microphone pointed at me. That way you guys can actually hear what I'm saying. How's everyone doing tonight? The chat was pretty active as I was getting set up here. OXO was first in the stream. Good evening to you. And Mr. Tamia, thank you so much for your patience as I was getting dinner tonight. I was actually out of state again for today. It was kind of an impromptu trip. I'll tell you guys all about it. But, yeah. Nothing too shabby. And also, yeah, my autocorrect, which is funny, it doesn't show me that before I click send when I'm on my phone. And it gets me every time, the autocorrect, that it's actually going to send something else. Apparently, I thought you were Mr. Tammy Ann, which is hilarious because I used to live next door to a Tammy Ann. So if you guys didn't know anyone who was named that, that's probably why it was in my phone. And, let's see, you said your iPad sometimes puts an extra space between words, or when you put a space between words, it puts them together as one. Yeah, it always gets me every time when I do that. And also thanks OXO for your patience as well, as I'm getting ready to get started here. I know it's one of those things where I am still getting things set up, which is why I had the intro running for a little bit longer. Let's hope this works. I only get one shot at it. Because then we gotta get to moving on the stream. Hey, it powers up. At least that's a good sign. How's your guys' week been? It's been a little while. About a week or so since we last spoke. Mr. Tammy, oh yeah, I've got the grooving thing going on. Yes, all good, thanks. Yeah, hopefully you guys have had any big news from the week is what I'll say as I'm getting my game loaded up here. Oh, you know what? Hang on. I gotta start my menu. Because I'm gonna start without something enabled. And I was working on this earlier this week just to see if I could... Game... There we go. Oh. Alright. And the game I'm going to play today, which is probably going to take up most of the stream, is one I've played before, but however, when I went to replay the footage from it, the audio is missing. And that's happened a couple of times, more and more recently with my capture card. So tonight is a game I've already played. It's been a little while since I played it, and surprisingly, all of my footage is not from the original console. So obviously, I'm going to have to capture it anyway from original console. I don't have to get this much footage from it. But it's a game I love playing. I usually like to play it at least once a year. And I don't remember playing it yet this year. I know I played it a little bit, maybe back in March. But we'll see how it goes. It also has one of the greatest game intros of all time, so I'm going to try to be sneaky about this and do this exactly at the same time. The game is not going to show up correctly, because I haven't changed that yet, but let's go ahead and get on with it. Oh, it is on there. Love that intro. There was somebody I know that actually put that as their channel theme or exit theme or something like that. Really enjoyed that. This was a constant weekend rental for me back in the day. Because it's one of those games where my parents were pretty well done buying games for this. I think they assumed eventually we were going to get a new console, but instead they ended up buying us a computer. So this was one that I didn't get probably until garage sales many years later. But this is one is one of the first games I collected when I started going back and getting games for the Super Nintendo. Really love playing this game. But I have an option too. I've never played this game with cheats on. I'm not going to start with cheats on. I'm going to see how far I get before I get frustrated with it. My guess is, and it's kind of funny, I remember doing this on stream. The last time I played this, I played the, whatchamacallit level with, all I know is it's got, Ramble Scramble? I like how they show one of the later levels here. This is like way into the game. I like the individual death themes that they have on there. Everyone, I don't know, everyone had such expectations for this game, and I think when they popped in the cartridge, if they didn't have that theme, they would have already lost. Like one of those things where I'm like, that was perfect. Everyone was like... It's kind of like the 20th Century Fox opening, actually. That gets you in the mood to see a movie? Not anymore. 20th Century Studios. Owned by Disney now. OXO says you bought one of those 101 carts to mess around on your Mega Drive 2. So that's the second revision one? Nice. That is, it's actually, I got one of those, I don't know if it's still called an EverDrive, but something like that for my Genesis too. For when I do the 16-bit war, I want to be able to play games that are not as accessible to me. So this is the intro that's going to repeat itself, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump in the game. Let me know if you guys are here in the comments, and let me know what you guys have been playing lately. This is a brand new save, because this is a new cartridge. New to me, anyway. And we're going to do one player. I like how they do one player team and one player competition. Then seeing the wrecked ship of the previous game that you had. That is genius in my opinion. And then you have to wake your way back up. I'm assuming this is supposed to be a completely different island. This is the Kremlings Island, but I always saw this as the back end of Donkey Kong Island. So, I guess you're on the ship right now, and then there's a wrecked ship there. I'm assuming that was K. Rool's ship. And now he's got a different vehicle to move him around. Also, it took me a while to figure out that there's puffs of smoke coming up there. I thought those puffs of smoke were coming from the level, but I didn't realize that giant face. It took me an embarrassingly long amount of time to realize that face, that little dinosaur face on there. It looks more obvious here on this on a flat screen TV than it did on the regular one. And then, oh yeah, there we are. In the background, you see Donkey Kong Island. That's the island from last time. Pirate Panic. No, this is K. Rool's ship. So there's another ship that shipwrecked back here. Yes, that's the Genesis to you folks. Yeah, the good old Mega Drive. Don't think that ever hasn't gotten confusing for the Sega Genesis review. I had to keep saying it several times. And I remember the first time I did it, I don't know, I may have cut it, but I did say, I'm only going to say this once. Mega Drive is Genesis, and I was just going to call it the Genesis the rest of the time. But apparently, I didn't even listen to my own advice. And I completely... Whoops. Bro. I've got to get my head back into the game here. There we go. So I also have to compare this to... Is this the better first game? Oh my. Sorry to hear that if you're watching my stream. Probably not if you're having some issues. I'll have to respond to that here in just a second. The person who I was with ended up doing the, maybe in trouble for leaving today. Gotta get that coin, too. Hey, T.I. Kyle, welcome to the stream. How's your week been as well? Where's my... There we go. It's always the opposite button that I expect to charge up Ramby's speed there. Destroy them all. By the way, much better job done on the mini-games in this game than the first game. Somebody have asked me before, because I'll probably say this in the video I do of Donkey Kong Country, but they ask, I always get asked, which one is my favorite Donkey Kong Country? And then inevitably I get asked, once they find out which one's my favorite, I'll say my favorite is this one, Donkey Kong Country 2. They just took everything from one and perfected it. But that also means Donkey Kong Country 3, which is more similar to this game than a lot of people like to admit. They like to say, oh, this is the bad one. But this is not a bad one. There's another coin back here, isn't there? I thought there was. You want an extra life or a coin? I need a coin so I can save. I guess I'll just take bananas. Love that they have their own victory music. Sorry, this is going to take me a second. How in the world did I figure out this stuff was here back in the day? I think it's because I fell to my death there one time and I saw that rope and I'm like, hey, I wonder if I'm supposed to be able to get over there. Am I going to do long plays to complete video games like the Driver video games? Well, I thought about doing that before. I'm not opposed to it is what I'll say. The first video I ever did for this channel was a long play of Crash Bandicoot the Insane Trilogy, about when it first came out. And what really drove me to do that is because I love that game. It was brand new. I mean, I was just like, it was very topical, and I'm like, oh, darn it. And I wasn't paying attention. Yep. That's why you just gotta do one of those. Take care of it. There we go. And looks like I need Dixie. Oh. We'll get him there. No slowdown there like usual. Anybody remember what I was saying before I spaced out here? I was in the middle of a thought. And I don't remember what it was now. But basically, it goes Donkey Kong Country 2 is my favorite. Donkey Kong Country 3 is my second favorite. My least favorite, and that's saying of this one, the one I would give a 9 out of 10 is the original one, and simply because they perfected things in number 2 and number 3 that it's just quality of life features I can't live without now. Impactful game, yes. Still fun to play, yes. But yes, I'm one of the few people who I know that will put Donkey Kong Country 2 over, Donkey Kong Country 3 over Donkey Kong Country 1. That's like blasphemy to some people. Oh, it was the long play. Sorry, Mr. Tamio, were you the one asking about that? Yeah, long plays. The problem is, that could have been when I was first starting my channel. It could be just because of that, but the reason why I haven't gone back to it is because that got absolutely no views, the long play. A live stream long play? Definitely up for it. I think that's something that people would probably watch. I'm not usually one for grinding through games, though, so it'd have to be one I'm very familiar with and feel like I can comfortably complete within a stream. I've done that with Super Mario Bros. 3, I did it with 2 and 1, and maybe also with the Super Mario All-Stars collection. The one problem is, I would do a long play of this game, but I feel like I'd have to do it over more than one stream. Then maybe I can, like, stitch it together, make it a whole video, and be like, hey, here's the whole game, me playing the whole thing. But that also means, do I have to complete the game in order to beat it? Like, complete 100%, get all the bonus rooms and stuff? There's a couple of bonus rooms I'm not as, especially in the later part of the game, I'm not as familiar with. Hey, Soapbox Chronicles, KD Casey. I'm just going to say Casey, is that alright? Or do you want me to call you Soapbox? I think I'm the only person who likes DK3. It's their favorite of the trilogy. Interesting. So there we go. We have someone else. So I didn't read that before. It says my favorite of the trilogy. I haven't put it that high up, but it's up there. It's almost as good as 2 in my opinion. But then people are like, well, there are certain things I don't like about it, and then they latch on to the fact, oh, well, it was made by Rare's B team. It wasn't one they really cared about because, well, Rare not caring about a game is not the same as other game companies not caring about a game. Oh, darn it. They all care about a game. I'll have to do that again if I can. Won't let me back in? Yes. Okay. I get infinite chances with this. You know who I need? I need Diddy Kong. Because then I can just do one of those. Was there that time. Doing it with Dixie is a tricky proposition there. Let me see. Genesis meant something different to Admiral Kirk in Star Trek 2. Yes, it did. But it also, I mean, the Genesis in North America, that made a statement that it probably wouldn't have in other regions. I mean, yeah, there's the biblical sense that Spock points out in Star Trek 2. But that also meant, well, we had Genesis, the power to create a planet is within your game console now. And what's funny, somebody at one point, I think, had tried to make the joke. They said, is the Genesis powerful enough? Oh, darn it. I missed it. Is the Genesis powerful enough to render the planet sequence that's used to show off the Genesis device in Star Trek 2? That I don't know. That's all 3D modeling. Someone would probably have to do a demo of it. It's probably definitely capable of playing like a pre-rendered video. It's kind of funny you mention that. I don't know who I heard that from. Yeah. At one point, I believe I'm supposed to get an invincibility. There we go. There we go. I don't know how long that lasts either, because it doesn't really count down like it does with the Super Mario Star. Week was cool until you watched, yeah, the 49ers got blown away just now. I saw a little bit of that game where I was at in Iowa. I don't know. I didn't know the score or who they were playing. I'm like, oh, the 49ers are playing. I might try to catch some of that if I can. Just watching the stream and cooling down. Yeah, that's something that I've thought too, so I'm going to let you guys know, I do like the 49ers as well, but because I'm from Illinois, I'm a Bears fan. The Bears. And that's I do need a cool down period after watching them play as well, so or I just need to calm myself down. Hello, dearies, I'm Mrs. Rinkety Kong, headmistress here at Kong College. She's retired in the next game, apparently. Exam, 9 divided by 3 equals 6. Well, that's not correct. 8 times 1 is 9. 4 plus 2 equals 5. I don't know why that didn't hit my ADD back in the day, or my OCD. But yes, that's what they're teaching at Kong College. What do you expect? It's run by not monkeys. Donkey Kong is a gorilla. He's more of an ape. Actually, is he a gorilla or is he an ape? I can't remember. It's just time-consuming for long plays. It is, and that's where I said, too, the criteria among them. That's what I need to know. Just to complete the stories mode. So if I beat this game without getting all the bonus things... Yeah, see, now it costs me money to save games. I'm going to get to a certain point, though, and then hit cheats and see how far I can get in the game. I may even do the final battle. But that's just going to be just for show, just to show you guys the end of the game. Love that opening drop. Look, this always fascinated me, and still does to this day. Look at that background, the little shelf that they have in the background. I know it's another floor. That's a really simplistic effect that doesn't require any special chips to do, or even really like a pre-rendered frame. But they did that in a lot of British developed games back in the day. Just that little faux 3D background. And I don't know, that always sticks out to me when I play this game now. It looks great on a CRT. I think this whole game looks 10 times better on a CRT television. But I would actually like to know if anybody has actually figured out I say there's more than one way, but figure out the way to watch my stream on a CRT so that you guys can see exactly what I mean by... Well then, I thought that was the way in. There's On Guard. Yeah, I probably should get that barrel in case I decide to off myself. Alright, now let's try the A button. Hey, Chid255, welcome to the stream. Sorry, I just saw your comment there. Chris Courage, welcome to the stream as well, says Go Bears, yep. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to ask, how are the Bears doing this season? Because I have not been home or busy It's been a crazy few weeks for me. Not few weeks, fall. A crazy fall season so far for me. I already got lost. Did I miss one of my turns? No, I was going the right way. I was gonna say, I know my way through this maze. Just keep going all the way to the left and then work your way up. All the way to the right, then work your way up. Case loss 40-40. That's a tough loss, T.I. Kyle. That is a tough loss. The only criticism I have of this game, really, one of the few criticisms I have, other than the Bramble Scramble levels later on at the end, is that, oh, the pause sound. I don't like the pause sound. That sound. I don't like that sound. It goes on for too long. It should just be like a balloon or balloon, and that's it. Is it over here? Where are my secrets? Why am I messing up on the secrets so bad? Huh. Where did I miss the... Is it up here? There's a secret area somewhere around here, I thought. Let's try it again. No, I thought it was up there. Huh. I don't know this game as well as I thought I did. Is basically all I can say now. And I'm glad these apes have infinite breathing underneath the water. This is not one of my favorite tracks in the game, but this is one of my favorite soundtracks overall. And I didn't realize until there was another streamer I was watching at one point. Oh, I did get the end. I thought I missed it. There was another streamer I was watching a little while back. He sometimes joins me here. It's T-Tech Trab. He was playing some Fall Guys, and he asked for some video game music to play in the background, and I suggested Donkey Kong Country 2. And I did not realize how much the first, like, 4 or 5 tracks, the first level worth of tracks in the game, I'm not really as fond of. The soundtrack gets a million times better the longer you go through it. If you had Genesis and a starship, would you just take off and seek revenge? He tasks me, yeah. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Damon. You have the Genesis device. You have anything you want. Why risk it all on a battle confrontation with him? He tasks me. He tasks me, and I shall have him. I don't do a very good Ricardo Montalban. Those little ant dung beetle things I also are some of my least favorite enemies in the game. Bonus number 1. You're getting way ahead of me, OXO, on Star Trek V. Make it so. Jid says this game looks great today. I think so too, but again, better on a CRT. I think the graphics, the art style is what makes this game hold up well, but more than the graphics. The pre-rendered graphics look unnecessarily compressed now, don't they? I mean, they need to be this compressed to work on a CRT, but I guess this game holds up better than the first one. The first one is good. Oh. All the way down. Ah! Hilarious. What was that? Is here a rumbling? Is this supposed to thunderstorm today? Either that, or maybe there's a tornado coming through. There was a huge wind today. Okay, hang on. I feel like he's not jumping as high with that. Do you have to hold the up button when you let go? There we go, it's the up button. I kept pressing the jump button and it keeps canceling my jump. Try that again. I'm going to go through this again. I did not realize that Captain Kirk also says make it so a couple times to launch the ship. Or no, maybe not make it so. He says engage. Mr. Spock, ahead, warp factor 5. Engage. I thought that was purely a Next Generation thing. And I have to ask because I haven't seen it yet, for some of you Trekkie aficionados out there, maybe those who like the Next Generation a little bit better, or at least have seen that a bit recently, what have you guys thought of the second season of Picard? I have not started watching it yet, but it came out on DVD/Blu-ray, and I'm wondering, that's going to be the only thing I watch if I get Paramount Plus again. I'm curious, do I just bite the bullet and buy it? And then, instead of subscribing? That way, if I want to rewatch it later on, I can. Oh, I forgot about that guy. Probably have to keep going up, don't I? That's going to hurt me because I need to do a little... Oh, I was going to say, I thought I needed to do a little helicopter there. That helicopter move in this game, by the way, pure genius for a game mechanic. It can make the game... I think I need, yep, I need it there for the second barrel. Skipped half the level, cheesed it a little bit, but yeah. Donkey Kong is the daddy, yeah. Does God need a starship? What are you doing, Jim? You don't ask the Almighty for his ID. That's my horrible Bones impression. They have been both horrible but interesting at the same time. You prefer the first game's soundtrack. The first game's soundtrack's pretty good as well. This one, but this one is better in almost every other way. Maybe they have better melodies in that one, because I like almost all the tracks in the first game too. But this one has my favorite tracks. Not all of them are my favorite, but yeah. At least the coaching staff of the Bears appear to be confident so far. The coaching staff, yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been seeing them too much. I don't want to get too worked up. Khan plays Donkey Kong. Interesting. What would he say if he saw King K. Rool? Donkey Kong, he blames you for the theft of his bananas. I know what he blames me for. I don't know what Donkey Kong would sound like. I feel like they should get to... All he says is, okay. Isn't that the only thing he says? The boss fights in these games never really give... There's only one boss fight in all of Donkey Kong Country that really gives me a huge thing every single time. And it is it in this game? Yes, it's in this game. It's the King Zinger. That's one I tried to beat on stream. Gosh, it took me forever. And a bunch of lives. World 1 is done. I knew that one. I know these first 2 or 3 worlds like the back of my hand. It shouldn't be too bad. Here we go. Here's one of the better themes in the game. Oh, wait a minute. Do you guys think I was going to forget? Ha! I should have just played as Dixie. I was getting a little too Star Wars reference. Great, kid. Don't get cocky. Oh, I missed it again. Oh, that's okay. I got 3 lives there. That level's like the Water Rings game? Yes, kind of. Finished this one early this year. Did so in one sitting. Didn't use save, so you didn't lose save coins. Yeah, every time you restart the game, to resave it, you have to earn more coins. That's crazy. That's your #1 complaint with this game by far. Yeah, that is a big one. I'm not used to resetting the game either before the end. You're a diehard fan, but Picard Season 2 was a mess. Really wanted to like it. Yeah, that's the thing, too. Season 1 had some good moments. Wasn't great overall. I agree with that, too, OXO. I liked the first... I wonder if will I get more lives if I do it this way? I will. There we go. Come on, stop farting around. I like how Diddy Kong gets butthurt sometimes when I just throw him right at the ground. This song is what I think of when someone says 90s synth. That keyboard sound they use in the background, the echo sound on it. I don't know, that's a very 90s sound to me. Of course, this was part of my 90s for a while. So yeah, I actually didn't mind a lot of things in the first season. Spoiler alert, if you guys haven't seen Season 1, you may want to plug your ears in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't like how they ended it at Season 1. Technically, the show is done after Season 1. Those of you who have seen it know what I'm talking about. They ended the show in the first season. Now, I feel like the only reason why it's still continuing is because of, for fans to keep subscribing to Paramount Plus. So I'll also say this too. For those of you that have Paramount Plus, and you guys only got it for Star Trek Picard, what were some of the other shows that you ended up watching on there that were worth keeping the platform? This is why this level takes me so long, because I actually don't remember where the other... Whoops. Where the other bonus room is. So I just keep doing this until I run into it. Oh yeah, these bananas let me know. See, I always forget where it's at, and then I'm like, oh yeah, the bananas let me know. And here's another thing too. Do any of you remember the Donkey Kong Country TV show? The animated TV show that was used, that was done using the original models that they used before they compressed them to make it into the game. There are 3 bonus rooms in this level? I didn't even realize that. RuPaul Disgrace. Drag Race? RuPaul Drag Race. How many seasons of that are there, Leslie? Welcome to the stream, by the way. Because if I can find more than one show to watch on Paramount Plus, I'll probably keep it, but if not, I'll just buy the Blu-rays, because the Blu-ray itself is almost about as much as a month of... well, I'm assuming it's going to be on Black Friday. It's like $25 now, but I'm assuming on Black Friday it'll go down to like 20 or something like that. And I'm like, if I'm only going to watch this the entire month I have Paramount Plus, I might as well just buy it and I can rewatch it. But if I'm hearing it's not worth watching... There's 16 seasons or 16 episodes? 14? 14? It's not good. You were just joking. I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I know off the top of my head who RuPaul is, but I have a feeling. And I'm sitting there going, I'm like, maybe. I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna make fun of it in case that's your thing, but that's not really my thing. I like how there's a ship that's wrecked in the lava field that's not all the way melted through. Was that ship made of metal? Lower Decks ain't too bad. Yeah, that's true too. Oh, how was season 4 of Discovery? If anybody knows, I know for sure someone in this group had to have watched Discovery. Another one of my favorite tracks on here. What games did you miss? DKC. Hey, Almighty Peanut, welcome to the stream. I didn't play DK1 on stream yet. I'm replaying this game because I don't have I went to use footage for this game in a video, and I found out not only is all of my footage missing audio, that was irritating. I had a problem with my card for a little while where it wasn't capturing audio. I didn't notice it for like a month. And so the last time I captured this game, I didn't have audio from it. And since I have since fixed it, but now... Hang on a second. There we go. I've since fixed it, but now I have to go back and get footage with audio again. Mainly because I haven't even gotten to the K yet. Oh no! Well, I hope you guys enjoy seeing the first part of this level a lot, because that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen again and again. Good thing this has a good theme to it, though. But anyway, so I have to recapture this game in particular because it's missing sound in my other captures. That would have been a good time to jump, because this time might kill me. Oh, that was lucky. Pretty sure I don't want to waste that guy, but I just did. Because I need to get my O. Need to get my O'Reilly's letter O. Oh, I did get it? How do I see my letters? Again, awesome soundtrack. Great melodies. And I don't think the melodies themselves really fit the sound. Oh, wow, that was disappointing. I don't think the melodies fit the levels as much as the use of his instruments do. Like, the reason why this is so good is because the instruments he used to make the song kind of feel like they fit in the environment, hence making the melody fit more. And of course the underlying pirate themes that they have going on here. Is there a bonus barrel up there? Yes! Yeah, such a random issue, yep. Your wife watches it? Yeah, that's another thing too. That could be, if it's better to watch with a female as well, keep in mind that's never a problem I have to worry about. Problem my friend has to worry about, but not me. Do I believe the YouTube stories that Shigeru Miyamoto has no love for Rare's interpretation of Donkey Kong? Soapbox, I am glad you brought that up. Mainly because the answer for me is no, and that's only because Shigeru Miyamoto himself has talked about it. Now, some people have said that he's trying to cover up, or some people can... I don't want to say some people have said. Some people can have the opinion that... Shigeru Miyamoto kind of backpedaled on it because he doesn't want to talk bad about any of Nintendo's IPs. Obviously, that's counterintuitive to his interest. But I really don't feel like he had much of a ill will towards it because Shigeru Miyamoto was involved in this process. It's not like Rare just went ahead and did this without Nintendo's involvement at all. They had a lot of freedom on it, but Nintendo also said that they liked a lot of things that Rare did with this game. So not just the pretty graphics, but yes, there is some out-of-context quote that has been brought up a lot, making people think that Shigeru Miyamoto does not like this game. From what I can tell in my research, it appears that those claims are unfounded. But again, that's just my opinion based on the research that I've done. But I will encourage you all to do your own research and come to your own conclusion on that one. I can't say what's in Shigeru Miyamoto's mind unless I ask him and he tells me. This is one of those levels I don't really care about getting everything. I'm just wanting to get to the end of it. Nope. This was kind of a neat little level design. I thought there was a secret back here somewhere. Oh, it must be that coin I was thinking of. I don't know where everything's at in this level because I don't always take the time to get that. But yeah, there is some quote that maybe I can tell you he doesn't think it's the greatest game ever made by any means, but he also doesn't think it's a bad game. He also does not dislike the game. His quote, I don't have it on me. If you guys can dig up that actual quote, I can tell you exactly what my thoughts were on it. Only just based on the fact I'm like, okay. So I can see why he was actually quoted in The Ultimate History of Video Games by Stephen L. Kent about it, and there were some conclusions jumped to in that I think may have been unfounded. Again, in like 2011, about 11 or 12 years after that publication came out, he was refuting those claims, so Shigeru Miyamoto did. Don't get you started on what's wrong with Discovery, especially Season 4. Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, Season 2 was all over the place for me. I really liked the Enterprise showing up in there. I kind of liked some of the ideas they were dealing with Season 1, but I did not get their... I don't know if I've seen Season 3 yet, actually, now that I think about it. Just because there was like that Seven Sisters thing that they were talking about the whole time, and I was like... It was kind of all over the map with that, because I don't really feel like that storyline panned out like I thought it would. And then they end up going from the 22nd century. In the end, are they in the 29th century? I don't remember. Every show since Star Trek The Next Generation has for some reason decided to jump way ahead in the future or allude to this huge war that happens in the future. In the Star Trek universe, only because... You know, that's very dramatic to have something like that happen in a world where... Just because I don't like those little buzzers. And yes, it took me forever to figure out that I could use Rambi to jump on those. What are they called? Zingers? Like, usually in this area, I try to avoid them. Has anyone seen Quantum Leap reboots? That's interesting. I have not seen that reboot, but I only vaguely remember seeing the originals. And I haven't seen all the episodes. It was still kind of on the air, maybe being replayed back in the day when I was younger. But that's how I knew about Scott Bakula. I thought he did a good job on the first couple seasons of Star Trek Enterprise, but I was apparently one of the few people who liked the first couple seasons. Everybody now, or I don't want to say everybody, but there's a lot of reviews now where like, oh yeah, the first couple seasons of Star Trek Enterprise weren't good. I'm like, the first couple seasons of Star Trek Enterprise were more like Star Trek, or like a Star Trek show, than any other part of that show. I like those first two seasons. I stopped watching with Season 3 because they tonally went in a completely opposite direction that the rest of the show was before it. And they started trying to make it a bit more like Deep Space Nine. Like, I don't know, that whole thing about episodic storytelling, more dramatic. And everyone's like, oh, the Xindi arc was so good. I'm like, I read that as 9/11. That was a huge thing, was a 9/11 and War on Terrorism parody. And at the time, it didn't land well with me when I first saw it. I appreciate it more now as an adult than I did as a teenager when I watched that. But I also realize why people wouldn't like the first couple seasons of Star Trek Enterprise, so... Can we all agree that there needs to be a better Star Trek game out, eventually? I mean, the VR version isn't bad. That's kind of neat. Hey, Ryan, welcome to the stream. Are you still inside the house, or are you in the doghouse now? Oh, that was so close. Strange New Worlds is really good. That's actually... Okay, that may have just sold me. I do want to see Strange New Worlds, because I do like that they're going to follow Christopher Pike on his thing. He didn't get a show back in the 60s. That feels more like, if anything, if you want to see like a classic Star Trek show on with a modern take on it, without them trying to say, we're going to do something completely different and revolutionary and nothing that's ever been done before in Star Trek, but just update it. That's all they need to do. I feel like Strange New Worlds is the only one that is trying to fulfill that promise. That's from the outside of not seeing it. The only shows I've seen that's any Star Trek post-2015 is Strange New World, not Strange New Worlds, is Star Trek Discovery, Seasons 1 and 2, and Picard Season 1. I think that's it. I have not seen any of the Lower Decks. I've heard it's good. I have a huge problem about it being animated. That's just keeping me from watching it. It took me a while to watch Star Wars Rebels, too. And Star Trek Rebels, I grew to love. But I also think, too, there's a lot of things going on like The Mandalorian right now. I'm like, modern-day adults, my parents who grew up loving Star Wars are never going to watch Star Wars Rebels. They're just not going to. They're in their mid-60s now. They're not going to watch a cartoon show designed for millennials. I mean, they very well could. Maybe my nephew will be into it and they'll watch it. No Mario in this game? No, there's no Mario in this game. Although, they could have done like an Easter egg where they make him show up. That would have been fun. I cannot remember. There is a way to get that coin, and I do not remember what it is. Oh, is it? Hang on. Is it this? Nope. Hang on. That's what it is. Eat these guys. They're close. Actually, is there an area over here I need to get to? Yep. Ooh, that was good barrel work. Was Miyamoto getting revenge on Rare when he sabotaged his Dinosaur Planet, aka Star Adventures? Could be, but that really, I don't think when that quote happened, I don't think that game had happened yet. When that quote was released, I don't think Dinosaur Planet had been released. It was 1999, and I don't know exactly the year Rare was sold. But I'm pretty sure they were still with Nintendo when they released Conker's Bad Fur Day in 2000. Had no idea they were... I didn't know that either. Favorite up until that point is when he goes back and eats his mom's mashed potatoes again. Isn't that something we all wish we could do? You like Star Trek Enterprise, but yeah, it's Season 3. Then got good again in Season 5. I don't think there was a Season 5 of that. Do you mean Season 4? Season 4 was good, but that's back when they were just trying to do anything they could to stay on the air. So they had some really good plot points on there. My favorite opening to the episode... I'm not usually a big fan of the Mirror Universe episodes. And that has to do with Deep Space Nine, I think, really overused the Mirror Universe. So I became... I'm not the biggest fan of that. There we go. But their only Mirror Universe episode was really good. It starts out by opening up what did the Mirror Universe's first contact look like. And that is golden. It's something... I don't want to ruin it, because if it's something that you haven't seen, it's just something you don't expect. How do I... Yeah. Yep, nothing I can do there. I really want to see what a modern day gamer, oh no! Hope you enjoy playing this whole level over again. Good grief. I really want to see like a 16 or 17-year-old's first time playing this game and just getting frustrated to no end. They're like, oh my gosh, this thing in Minecraft's so frustrating. I'm like, yeah, you think Minecraft's frustrating? Play Donkey Kong Country 2. I laugh at your feeble frustrations of modern day gaming. Oh, the lag is terrible. Have you ever played the barrel levels of Donkey Kong Country 2? Made by NBC, eh? So that means it's on Peacock. Another streaming platform that we don't need. Did anybody else see it coming that streaming services were going to become just like cable companies? Only something you have to pay for, all a la carte, nothing bundled, and everything is on its own separate streaming platform? I saw it becoming more like cable in the fact that it was going to cost the same. I had no idea everybody was going to be on their own little platform. There's no reason to. You can sign a deal and be like, hey, everyone can be on the same platform, but now I thought it was going to be one platform that costs as much as cable does. So here's where I'm going to try to get greedy. Those hitboxes on the back of the zingers are... I've never gotten used to them, is what I'll say. Come on. Part of the thing is, do not hesitate. Ah, like that. Hopefully there's another EK barrel up here. Fudge! Fudge sickle. Homer Scott, by the way, welcome to the stream. How's your week? Yeah, it sucks every platform hoarding. And that's the thing, I'm like, they're never going to get everything on there. They're really just banking on you subscribing to them and everybody else. That's literally their only goal. Peacock is not saying, oh, don't subscribe to HBO Max or Paramount Plus. They're saying, oh, if you want to see this show, sucks to be you, it's only here. It reminds me of I call it the scam of gym memberships. During the first shutdowns, I was actually going to the gym around that time, right before the shutdowns of March 2020. And I remember you can only cancel, the gym I was going to, you can only cancel your membership by going into the store, and you couldn't cancel it because they were shut down for a few months. See how close I was to the end, too? Oh, that would have been perfect. Yeah. So it was kind of the same thing. They pride themselves on you forgetting and just giving your money for not using it. Sure, they want you to actually watch some of their programming, like that's the lure, but they really don't want you using the platform. They just want your money. I don't know. I don't think that's all gyms, but that's kind of the same thing. That's why I don't like the gym ecosystem. They obviously couldn't survive otherwise, because who would consciously pay for something they're not using? There needs to be some sort of like consumer protection on that kind of thing, or basically if you have a problem with it, you should be able to get your money back if you didn't use the service. Yeah, multiple streaming services are inconvenient for us because the majority of us are the lowest skilled class and can't afford. Yep, so I'll tell you what I'm doing to combat the streaming services here real quick. That is entirely legal. I don't want to talk about the illegal stuff. People are like, oh, why do you pay for a streaming service? I have an app on my whatever thing, my streaming box that'll just let me see all the shows for free. I'm like, I'm not going the illegal route here. I'm going a good way of a legal way of doing it. Tan Green says, I subscribe to Netflix for a month. When Cobra Kai comes out, then you unsubscribe. See, that's the smart thing. The way, and here's the thing too, account sharing. That's another thing too. It makes sense for a family like this thing used to scare the living bejesus out of me back in the day. How old was I when this game came out? I was 9 when this game came out. Yeah. Show this to a 9-year-old kid, it scared the crap out of me. And I also didn't realize this too. When he's down here like this, there's a little flaming hand that's holding him, that's holding the sword at this point. I did not realize that until I saw this game in upscaled to HD for the first time. Here he comes. And if you can survive that, that's the hardest it would do. The only reason why this boss fight was ever hard for me back in the day was because it was frightening. Genuinely frightening to me. Definitely want that. That way I can get my coins. So satisfying when he blows up and all the little pieces of him fly everywhere. Lots of competition. You don't want conglomerates because those things, yeah, that's what kills things, yep. Those are what kills things like HBO Max. Yes, absolutely. I have a feeling a lot of us are actually paying attention. They go by the same practice. Yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of people do that, but I mean, that's the thing too. There are so many people who, like Prime. So the way I do it, I pay for Prime, and I have the account sharing thing set up with my parents so they can use Prime. Prime Music, Prime Video, Prime Shipping is what they really care about. But that's why I have Prime. My parents pay for Netflix in return, and then they share their account with me. So that's how we've been getting around paying for both. But I wouldn't pay for Netflix all year long if I didn't have that arrangement on there. The show I really like on there right now, I used to like Ozark, and that's now ended. But I also like The Crown. That's the one I watch there on there now. House of Cards back in the day, Orange is the New Black, the first few seasons. After the prison riot, I didn't really care for it. But I watched it because I'm like, I have Netflix. I might as well finish it since I started it. There's been a couple other shows I've binged on there. Oh, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. I watched it before they took... I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but I watched it on Netflix before they took it off. They were threatening to do that for a while. Lock it down to nothing but... lock that down to Paramount Plus, I guess. Hey, Jet Screamer, welcome to the stream. We're complaining about streaming services, as I myself am using a streaming service to stream to you. The solution is to reorganize our economy into something like Norway, where workers own a percentage of the companies they work at. Yes, that would be an interesting idea. I would like to see what that would work. Then the low-skilled class, the majority of us, can take part in the economy too. Yeah. Well, there's a grocery store in my area franchise. That's how they work. It's every employee owns a piece of the store. And I think it's I think it's a European country European company is the origin of that grocery store. I can't remember exactly from where. But actually, they all switched over from... It used to be like an... I don't know. I don't really want to say company names. Because I'm not sponsored, and I don't want to badmouth any company. Especially if I get it wrong. That was annoying. This is another one of those. Is there any way for me to grab those? I can't remember. Alright, here's me trying it out. Look at that. That move, it took me forever to learn how to execute that move, and I still can't do it consistently. There are so many good, excellent covers of this song. This is one of those songs that's better than the instruments that they use to create it. So I do like this song, but I've heard so many good covers of it. Oh, I missed Ramby? Here they start messing with you with the barrels. How did I miss that? Yes, it is very easy for me to mess this up as well. You hear me stop talking as much in the later levels because I'm horribly trying to concentrate. Oh no! Oh no! I said he throws a B at the end so he can't get in there. I shouldn't have tried for it, I just should have went for it. Hey Roas, welcome to the stream. Alright, let's see what we got going on here in the chat. People are asking to play for only the channels they watch. Yes, these services came out, and that ended up being the same price. Imagine that. You buy it at half your price when it came out, got Paramount Plus for $25. That's a good idea. If you can get that deal all the time. I think I also have Hulu, but I rarely ever watch Hulu. I got that on Black Friday last year for, was it 99 cents a month? So I'm like, for $12 a year, if I only watch one show on there, that's worth it. And the show I got hooked on there was The Only Murders in the Building. I don't want to say surprisingly good show, just a really good show. It's kind of interesting. You can tell when the people who are in the show that are the big names that carry the show, you can tell when they have an interest in it or if they have a creative input in the show. I don't know, to me it just... Oh, come on. To me, it kind of gives it a bigger meaning of having a show like that. I can't jump until he throws his... Gotta do this thing again. This gives me anxiety for some reason. Maybe it's all the times I thought, oh, this will be easy, and then I hold the directional button down for a bit too long, and I just end up... Oh, well that's easy. Just let him despawn by going slightly off stream. Slightly off the stream. DirecTV stream, yep. I have seen, hi everyone. Oh, Hepwo, welcome to the stream. This is your all-time favorite 2D platformer, yep. So we were talking about the reason why I have to replay this is because the last time I played this on the stream, I played almost all the way through it. I got to like the final levels, and I didn't realize that was back when my capture card was not capturing audio, so I had to redo this game anyway. For the eventual videos I'm going to do about it, and those could be threatening to come out soon. But yeah, half the gameplay I have doesn't have sound. None of it's from original hardware, so I figured I might as well make it... Ooh, the brightness settings on my TV are actually really low for this level. I can see it better on my stream PC than I can see it on the TV. I'm gonna have to adjust that. That's gonna bug me. It could be that the backlight on this TV is finally starting to go. I've had this TV for a while. Yep, standard. We're gonna change that to not energy savings, not custom. Vivid. That's what I want. Ah, looks a little better. I also like, too, how they have the, to hide the sprite changing from the other side, they have the screen flash. I forgot where I learned that from, that the screen flash was used to hide part of that animation that's not there, of when they flip the fish around. And for those of you who are a fan of Finding Nemo, you'll notice that's that same fish where they're singing Just Keep Swimming. Sorry if you guys don't like the flashiness. I always do this. It's just out of the way that I play. It's not to irritate people, sorry. Sure, it's not the most fun thing to look at. I also like, too, how they just assume that, oh, there's this wall here. You just keep swimming into it, you'll go through it instead of into it like everything else. Hopefully, I have a DK barrel coming up here. Of course. I don't know how many times you notice that I do this in the other levels as well. But I do this flip off and it just shows up a lot more. Oh, come on, he turns back. I thought he kept going. This was like late 1995, late into the console cycle where they really knew how to squeeze everything out of there. Absolutely. Roes asks, Mountain Dew? Yes, this is from Taco Bell. This is one of the reasons why I was late. I was getting dinner with a friend. On my way back, I went back to the Quad Cities this weekend. So I can go back to that retro game store. They had a good deal, and this is what I was going to talk about. I've been talking about streaming services. Partially because I'm pretty well resolved to stop paying for streaming services. And one of the things I've been doing, and the reason why it's paying off for me personally, this is my own choice. I know a lot of people this would not work for. It's legal, 100% legal. I'm going to stop paying for streaming services because I realized most of the stuff I watch on those are old shows that I just didn't have time for back in the day. Most of these shows are that have been released on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. And right now, I don't know if it's just these retro game stores, but a lot of the places I've been going to that have these, that have them used, they're being sold for dirt cheap. So, for about the price of a... Oh, gosh darn it. I don't know. How do I always get... How do I get through this area in normal times? I gotta get the O. Did I get the K this time? I don't think I did. Yep. So yes, that's what I was doing over there, is I was buying a whole bunch of... They had buy 3, get 3 DVD box sets. And all the average price I paid for these DVD box sets were $1.39 a season of a show. So, DVD is not the best quality, but I don't really care about that as much. Because for years, my internet connection was not stable enough to handle HD streaming, it feels like. So... don't hit me. So it doesn't look any different than me, and I can't get broadcast TV here. It's not very easy for me to get it. So yeah, that's what I've been doing instead, or that's what I am resolving to do instead. For any old TV show that I want to watch, instead of paying a monthly fee to watch it, sometimes with ads, and Netflix is now adding ads to theirs, just buy the DVD when it's cheap, and I can watch it then. And if I can't, I have plenty of stuff to watch, to where I don't really need to worry about if I'm going to run out of content. And just watch the stuff I have instead of watching the... That's why I was like, the Star Trek Picard, should I just buy the Blu-ray for the same price as a month of Paramount Plus? And now I'm hearing... I don't know, if there's a way to rent it. I guess, do libraries still rent Blu-rays and DVDs and such? I should have to check that out. Like I said, it's just getting ridiculous with all the platforms and all the exclusives. And oh yeah, if you want to watch this one show, it's like, man, this one platform, like, oh, we got other stuff too. And then they have years of backlog stuff. Like Amazon in particular has like a whole bunch of black and white shows. They also had like The Dating Game from the 60s and stuff like that. I'm like, why am I paying for this? Was I really hard up to watch The Dating Game from the 1970s? and Family Feud from the 1980s and all that stuff. The only rental you know of is Redbox. Yeah, Redbox is still a thing, isn't it? Gotta make sure I don't hit that guy. I guess that's true too, especially for movies. Yeah, I'm in the country. I'm in a very rural area, yes. So yeah, so either if I can get TV shows, which a lot of the TV stations around here too, there's like 15 stations within earshot of my house too, and a lot of them air things like the old home improvements and things like that. I'd still watch that. They also have like, oh, what else? What else do they air on there? They were for a while airing the old Unsolved Mysteries. That is one of the things I was watching on Prime for a while. One of my friends likes the old Robert Stack Unsolved Mysteries. And I thought to myself, you know, I'm only watching this because it's included in my Prime subscription, but I would never intentionally pay for this show, kind of thing. I know for a while, I think the first one to start pulling their stuff from Hulu was CBS, and so I really hold CBS accountable for part of the reason why everyone's doing their own app. I know they're not the cause of it, because it was kind of, ooh. First chance I get, I need to remember to switch to, there we go. Switch to Dixie Kong. Yes, I have Diet Mountain Dew. You hope I got the Mountain Dew Xbox? You know what, Damon? I looked for that when it was there. It's gone. Somebody bought it. I hope that they had a lot of store credit, because there was no reason to pay. Then what was it, $3.99 for that Xbox? The Mountain Dew Xbox? I don't know, maybe somebody saw it on the channel and they're like, oh, I absolutely have to have that. So, oh, I didn't switch to Dixie. There we go. This is why I need Dixie. I like how their hands kind of burn as they go down. Oh, that could have ended my playthrough too if I didn't have a Dixie with me. Yeah, so that's still around about checking off in the library. I'll have to do that. I know my library used to have a good selection of... They used to have like all the Star Trek Next Generation show and all that stuff. But that's one of the things... I've been slowly doing that, by the way, for a while. Buying these TV shows when they do those buy 3, get 3. Because if these seasons are $4 a piece... Oh, I'm missing my animal, buddy. Like I said, there's no reason if I can just own them for that price instead of paying a monthly fee. As long as I'm paying less than the fee of, let's say what would be the cost of 2 streaming services? As long as I'm paying less than $40 a month, I'm fine, and I don't ever have to worry about them taking the show off. That's been the big thing. That's when I started turning against Netflix. When shows that have been on there for a while that I finally get to watching because there was just other stuff to watch on there. It's not that I wasn't watching Netflix, it was that I wasn't watching these shows on Netflix. So I mentioned Deep Space Nine. I actually didn't finish Deep Space Nine on Netflix. I actually bought them for the whole entire series for like $30 from this from that same retro game store that's in my area. Because they took them off of Netflix almost as soon as I started watching them. They decided, oh yeah, no more Deep Space Nine on Netflix. And yes, I know I had almost, 30 years to watch Deep Space Nine, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I didn't think I was going to like it, so I didn't want to watch it. And like I said, as soon as I started watching it, they did the same thing with Blue Bloods, which is another show that I actually really genuinely like, but I had a hard time with because it was now locked to Paramount Plus. Big Bang Theory was the same way. I know like a lot of people like to criticize that show now, but there are some funny moments to it. It's not so much the geek humor, which I know a lot of people seem to identify with. But to me, I was like one of the last, whatchamacallit, I call it one of the last great sitcoms. What was another show? Oh, Mike and Molly. I forgot what I was watching that on. But that was one too. I thought was a good show that I really didn't want to pay a bunch of money to watch, so I just bought those seasons. Again, $2 a season because they're all used now. People want to get rid of them. I know I'm going on a huge rant here that has nothing to do with this game. It's all about the streaming services. So, yep, and I don't mind watching the discs. Just pop a disc in, and that's what I'm watching until then, until we go through the thing. And it's not that big of a hassle. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to get up and switch the disc. I'm like, well, that's not a big deal. And everyone's like, I don't even have something that will play DVDs or Blu-rays anymore. And I'm like, I do, because I have all these game consoles. I have a PlayStation 3 sitting over here that'll play Blu-rays. I have one hooked up to my home theater, PlayStation 3. I have a PlayStation 4 and 5 hooked up upstairs, and Xbox Series X. So those all still play DVDs. And I don't have to worry about a slow internet connection, although recently I've gotten that taken care of. My internet connection is immaculate now because we finally got a fiber internet provider in my area. So yeah, just bargain hunt for it. Look for shows that you want to watch. I'm also very open to... Oh, here's one of the shows I actually recently got. This was on a while back. I only got it because of the... there are a lot of people who said, oh, this show got canceled before its time. There's been a lot of pop culture references to it. So... let me see if I can get one of these out here. Have you guys seen the show Firefly? I never have, but I'm like, I'll watch that. I like science fiction shows. There's a bunch of other things too over here too. Oh, there's a show called Boss with Kelsey Grammer that was on Starz. It was locked down to their platform and never had Starz, so I didn't watch that. Spartacus, Gods of the Arena from a long time ago, if you guys remember that show. Yeah, see, there you go, Heplo. And Heplo has mentioned something that I'm specifically staying away from, which is I am not pirating content. I am legally getting content. I'm not going to tell you guys to do one way or the other. That's your choice. But obviously it's illegal to do, so... Yeah. So I am trying to stay legal with mine. And not because of any sense of, oh, I feel like it's theft or anything like that. It's because it's specifically because it's illegal. And I can't go around creating content myself while pirating someone else's content. I really feel like, for me in particular, that would be incredibly hypocritical. And that's kind of a pet peeve of mine, is to be hypocritical. So if I want people to legally get my content and not pirate it, I probably shouldn't be pirating somebody else's content. Does that make sense? Ooh, I thought I could actually plow through him like a... Why am I playing as Diddy? You should always play as Dixie. There's absolutely no reason to play as Diddy. There we go. Come on. There is a way to skip like half of this level, and I'm going to try to do that. Just because I don't like timed levels. Nope, okay. Nope. I took the wrong way. And I mean, he is like instantly there. That guy is worse than, who is he? Who's the big fish in Super Mario Bros. 3? That's what I was specifically thinking of. There we go. This will... Oh! No! Want my cannonball, because this gets me to the end of the level without having to play at all. I can't believe I did that one shot. I had autocorrect correct on me awkwardly too, Jet Screamer. Oh, down here. There we go. That's the first DK coin I've gotten in a while. I keep forgetting to grab this. So I got locked into HBO Max for $5 a month. Again, if you can keep it reasonable. Oh, I didn't capture that level. That's right. I'm okay if you guys can get it affordable. I'm just complaining about Netflix going up. I'm not paying $20 a month per service. That's my thing. With everything else going up too, food, cost of living, insurance, all that stuff is considering as being more of a luxury that I don't think most of us are going to be wanting to afford. I a long time ago dumped cable and went to just free over-the-air television for a while, and I'm like, well, that and Netflix or Hulu were like my two main things that I watched everything on, and then Hulu kept getting picked apart, even by Disney, who I think owns a majority stake in Hulu, is that right? Because ABC owned a lot of Hulu as well. So I mean, they're all off on Disney Plus, and then they're all off on Disney, Paramount, HBO, Peacock, and Netflix. Those are 5 different streaming services. If I paid what they're asking for on each one, I mean, that's got to be close to 60 to 80 bucks a month, which at that point, why not just go get cable? Monsters a Go-Go, welcome to the stream. Been watching Stargate SG-1. You know what I just picked up as well? Was Battlestar Galactica. Never watched that show. Figured, I mean, it's always been on Sci-Fi for a while. The reboot one they did in like the late 2000s or mid 2000s or whatever. So I'm looking forward to watching that show. Been gawking on a DVD. Snagged that. Oh yeah, just found gawking on DVD. Okay. Gaking. G-A-I King. Is that what I'm seeing? I am unaware of that show. Did Stargate over the lockdown? Deep Space Nine was over my lockdown. Put it off for years, finally started watching it. I don't think you can get arrested for that. Well, that's what I said. I'm just, like I said, for me personally, it's a choice of just wanting to keep it legit. Because I myself am a creator, and so I kind of get it. So like, I'm not looking down on anyone else who chooses to do that. Technically, there is the, you wouldn't download a car, those commercials. I don't want to sound like that, but obviously I'm going to advocate for whatever keeps you in the law, because I can't recommend something that's against the law. Not that you'll get arrested for it or fined or whatever. I think the worst I've seen personally is someone get kicked off their internet service provider for it. Because technically some of that stuff may violate your terms and agreement for that. Also found a really good show from Amazon called Dead Like Me. I've heard of that show. If that's on Amazon, I'll have to take a look at it. Oh, they didn't make any seasons after season 2? Interesting. The show I watched on there last was probably a show called Upload. Have you guys seen that? That's kind of an interesting science fiction. It's more of a romantic show than I would usually care for. But it's an interesting concept about being able to save your consciousness after you die. I'm going to pause here for a second. You guys keep talking about your favorite streaming services, any games you guys have played, and how much you like Donkey Kong Country 2. I'm going to use the facilities, and I'll be right back. So, more streaming yet to come. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being understanding about me being late to the stream, too. But I will be back to play more Donkey Kong Country 2 here in a little bit.
a failure.
Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Welcome back to the stream, everybody. Well, I guess welcome me back. Yeah, too many cables are up off. Hepwo, the only reason why I ditched cable, really, I mean, the cost was climbing up, but nothing too bad to where I wasn't still willing to pay for it. It's just never worked right in this house. I had that they were out here almost once a month, even for my internet. You guys know how much trouble I used to have with my internet from the early from the early streams. Yeah, it's always been a pain. I don't know what it is. There's something wrong with either the cabling wiring in my house or in this neighborhood. So it never worked right, so I got rid of it. And I found myself not really missing it, so that kind of woke me up to why was I really hanging on to that? But yeah, that's too many streaming services. I'm not paying for all of those again. It's just once a year for catching up on all the Star Wars shows, maybe once a year for catching up on all the Star Trek shows. But then the rest of it, if it's on DVD or Blu-ray, I'll just continue to buy those. Or I can rent them from my local library. I did a little research that got me curious, and yes, I can order DVDs from my local library and Blu-rays if they have them, and I can watch shows that I can't find, and that's all free. The only difference is it's kind of like Netflix. You have to wait for it to come before you can get it if they don't have it in stock at the local library. And they have this, it's called the Local Resource Sharing Alliance in my library that allows them to get it from any library pretty much within Illinois. Anyone that's a part of that alliance. And they'll ship it to there. It's great. I've used it in the past. It's been a while since I've used it though. Damon Forbes had an interesting comment as well. I think the PS2 is the best DVD player I've had. That is a neat statement, only because I think the PlayStation 2, not the Slim, maybe the Slim, the PlayStation 2 is probably a lot of people's first DVD players. I was the first person in my family to adopt a DVD player. Actually, our first DVD player came with a computer. My parents bought a Gateway, not 2000. I was really upset. We bought it in 2000, but we didn't get a Gateway 2000. I really liked that name, but anyway. It had an AMD Athlon 650 megahertz processor in it and a DVD ROM drive / CD burner. And we watched The Sixth Sense on DVD on that 17-inch CRT computer monitor. Me, my parents, my brother, all sat in the computer room, squashed around this tiny screen and watched that movie like we just watched a movie on disc. And that was kind of hilarious. But then I bought, with my 8th grade graduation money, that ought to let you know, in 2000 I graduated 8th grade. And I got enough money. I have a huge extended family on my dad's side, so everybody gave me $5 or $10, and that amounted to about $300 because I had such a big extended family at that time. So I bought a DVD player with that money, and that Christmas in 2000, my parents bought the PlayStation 2, and they didn't like using the PlayStation 2 because we didn't have a remote for it, but I did have a remote for the DVD player. So my parents swapped me. They gave me the PlayStation 2. It was supposed to stay in the living room, but they ended up giving it to me to put in my room. And they took the DVD player to play DVDs in the living room. So, yes, that was my DVD player for all 5 of those years, and then the PlayStation 3 became my DVD player. As well as I got a DVD recorder in 2005, so that became my DVD recorder. I'd record TV shows on it, like my DVR. Damon recommends Firefly. I've heard so many good things about it. I've heard some people say bitterly that it's overrated, but I don't know. I thought I'd give it a try. It was only $3.99. We'll say half off of that because I bought enough stuff to buy 3 get 3 DVD box sets. For $2, is it worth seeing the show? I'm gonna say Guy King. I'm gonna call it Guy King. Is part of Force 5. It was a series that was used to show in the 80s. Okay. I think I do remember hearing about that. Oh, you were a Sleepjet streamer? Yeah, I was a little late. I was a half hour late getting in because I was late getting back from the Quad Cities. I went back to Iowa earlier today so I can buy... They had a sale going on at their disc replay. I usually don't mention the store's name, but that's what the store's called. You've probably seen it in the video somewhere. And I went back and bought... Because they had buy 3, get 3 DVD box sets. I'm like, I'll take that deal all day long. So, for $9, I can get 6 seasons of a TV show. That's worth it. Well, I say $3.69. It's probably closer to $12 because it's $3.99, $4 a piece. So that's why I was doing that. Yep, the PS2 DVD remote. I have a couple of those because yes, every once in a while, I still use a PlayStation 2 as a DVD player. Believe it or not, I have so many PlayStation 2s it just makes sense. Love that remote. Before the streaming apps used PlayOn, DLNA, on the PS3. My gosh, back then when Hulu was free. I remember when Hulu was free. My mom was upset when Hulu started charging for it. But yeah, the PS3 remote, I got that for my parents to watch Blu-rays with. Because they didn't get a Blu-ray player. They watched it off the PlayStation 3. It was hard to tell. You could tell a difference, but it was really hard to tell the difference between a Blu-ray and a DVD on a CRT television, on a smaller screen CRT television, like a 27-inch is what I think we had. And then we had the 36-inch monster, I call it 150 pounds to 200 pound thing. It took my dad, my mom, and me, where we had to pull it in to get it into our living room, and then we had to lift it up onto this giant stand. I wouldn't want to repeat that day. Out of all the days I've lived, that was not a good day for my back. Me too. It was on wax. Oh, really? I didn't know that about the remote. Back in the day, kind of hated the PS2. Oh, was a Dreamcast fan? Yep. And yep, the PS2 did do that. What happened? Bathroom break? Yep. Sometimes my bladder is not as young as it used to be. Thanks, I appreciate that. Or let the cat out. Drink or let the cat out. Yep. Go refill your beverages as well. Saving $100 a month without cable, Wi-Fi only at home. That's where I'm at too, Homer. Go. Sorry, I had to do it. Rather have the items in the unmarked bags. Oh, really? Do you buy those? I couldn't. OXO says player won't start. No way. What a memory. Are you talking about my DVD player and PlayStation 2 thing? I remember too. I was just like, they were like, if we get a new console, because they didn't want me and my brother fighting over it in our rooms, so they would put the console in the living room, and when they weren't watching TV, was the only time we could play it, and then we had to share. So, and it would always be after they went to bed, and then we would play the console. So, yeah, that was how we shared the PlayStation 2 for a while. Same thing with the PS1 they put in my brother's room because of his... He had a whole thing. Hey, Dryerlant, welcome to the stream. I like having this music play in the background. Is it getting repetitive for someone? Because this is... I love this track. It gives this thing a more grandiose feeling to it all. Caught a playthrough of Yakuza. Occurred to me this is just a continuation of Shenmue on the Dreamcast. Yes. I thought that too. Because Shenmue, I actually... Did I play that on the Dreamcast back in the day? I remember I played it back in like 08 or 09. When one of my friends gave me his Dreamcast, that was one of the games I either picked up right away or one of the games he gave me. So, yep. Remember getting your reserved PlayStation 2. Had a bad disk drive? Oh, that stinks. Somebody else didn't get it launch day either. They put the PS2 in a bag. Had to cover. Got tons of bad looks leaving them all. Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, I remember my mom tried to bribe the guy at... oh, I almost said the name of the store. Tried to bribe the guy at the Electronics Supergiant, the only one that's still around. Oh, here we go. One of my favorite levels in the game. Hey, Italian, welcome to the stream. Memories of your VCR and Iowa surround sound system. Oh, yeah. My parents had an Iowa boombox stereo system. Yep. Yeah, that was something that... You might not hear me talk during this, partially because you have to concentrate more in this level than you do in some of the other levels. But then you also want to listen to that awesome soundtrack that was originally supposed to be in a water level. And the key here is to follow the bananas. Whoops. Ah. You're gonna see me do that a lot. What? Oh, there's the banana. This part always gives me anxiety. This is why I really like the RetroTink 5X, because my reflexes are really slowed just from getting older. And this thing having almost absolutely zero lag helps. But yes, if you guys were not aware, this is coming out of my original Super Nintendo, no mods, just using the RetroTink 5X upscaler. Oh, this could be where I bite it. No, I made it. So they axed the water level that this tune was supposed to be in, but they thought... See? But they're like, this level needs to stay in the game. Like, this is the level that's gonna sell this game. I gotta be careful. There it is. I knew it. Oh, so frustrating. DKC2, one of your favorites, yep. And I've mentioned this, that I've played this before on the stream, but my last one I had to recapture this because the last capture was missing sound. I had a problem with my capture card for a little while, where it wasn't quite getting, it didn't get the sound, basically. And the only... There we go. So the only footage I have of this is either dead silence or non-original hardware. And I figured if I'm going to do a video review of this, I'm going to have original footage with sound. Who plays Donkey Kong Country on mute? Back in my day, we listened to our musical soundtracks. That's the way to do it. Although I have fond memories of listening to records with some of my NES games. As blaspheming as that sounds with my opinion of game music now. All the bananas, Tyler. Missed it. Oh, that was it? I thought I had another whole part of the level to go through. I must be confusing this with a later part of the game. I will say this, I keep seeing the OXO comment about what a memory, because I keep thinking, my memory from my childhood is not that great, actually. It takes me a long time to remember things, and I usually try to get things corroborated from either one of my brothers or somebody else who was there, because I don't know what it is, but I have like a mental block about my memory sometimes. But when it comes to technology, I'm trying to get a second player here. I'm pretty sure they'll give me one at the beginning of the level, but I can do that. And now I have Dixie Kong again. I should probably save too while I'm at it. If I'm right, is this King Zing? Go to Kong College and save. Let's see here. Damon Forbes said, watch Star Wars on your 9-inch gaming TV, and it looked amazing. Oh, I'm sure it did. I have to ask, original trilogy or special edition? That was one of my recent DVD pickups. For the longest time, the only original version of the Star Wars trilogy that I owned was my original VHS tapes. And yes, every so often I'd plug my VCR into my home theater with the projector 80-inch projector screen, and I would watch it. Now I finally own the limited edition release DVDs that have the letterboxed 4x3 but widescreen. Oh no, this isn't King Zing. Whew. This is this Clobber. I can't remember his name. Oh, he broke my barrel. This is what I need. There's my first hit. Thoughts? Oh, no. No, run. Thoughts on the Genesis Mini 2? I will say this, I'm not as excited about it as I was for the Genesis Mini 1, although I am excited for some of the features in it. Some of the games are more Sega CD and 32X based, aren't they? Is that right? Fill in my gaps on some of that knowledge there. I was surprised I got hit with that one. Oh no! Oh, thank goodness it was on the last one. Oh! I wonder what game the Kremlings were supposed to be for. Were the Kremlings supposed to be in the Battletoads game? That's one of the things I learned in my research. Oh! I learned in my research is that the Kremlings were actually a boss, a nemesis meant for another Rare game. There we go. And they decided to reuse them for Donkey Kong Country. Memories of your VCR, we got that one. Looks frustrating, tried getting back into Mega Man and just couldn't do it. Oh. Mega Man is meant to be frustrating, though. In the middle of Missouri, USA, beer has gone up $4 in the last 4 weeks. Ugh. Talk about living in troubled times. Is this going to be like a... Are we going to go back to like the Great Depression era? Where that's like one of the main expenses. No matter what it is, we'll still afford our alcohol, even though it's quote unquote illegal at that time. I don't know why that's. I'm getting vibes of that. Maybe because we're in the new Roaring 20s. By the way, how are people? I remember right before in 2019 there were a lot of people predicting, "Oh, I can't wait for another Roaring 20s. It's going to be a good decade." Then we start out with COVID, and we're still not out of it. Start out with a pandemic, sorry. And other diseases, recession, all that stuff. I said I wanted to repeat the good part of the 20s, not the last part. Maybe we're going through it backwards. This is the Depression, and then it will be the Roaring 30s. I'm optimistic like that. Hopefully we all live there. Love Mega Man, need to play Mega Man Legends 2, never played it. I was looking for that game this weekend since you guys said something about it last time. Didn't see it yet, though. I'm much more picky about the games I want to collect now. There's only a few games I want to collect for the PlayStation and the N64 still before I start my review. I've got a lot of Sega Saturn collecting to do. I just need to get a decent amount of games so I can actually do a decent comparison with the other two consoles. Last time you played with no 32X games, but CD games are a yes. Yep, there are a lot of good CD games that stayed buried on that system, so I'm hoping they do better with that, with the Genesis Mini 2. Mega Man Legends 1, very hard to find. Legends 1 was great. Or Legends 2 is hard to find. It's only for PS1. Legends 2 is only for PS1, yes. I don't know, Mega Man 64 is the same thing as Mega Man Legends 1, correct? I'm pretty sure I have Mega Man Legends 1 and Mega Man 64. Hornet Hole, here we go. We should start seeing deflation in November, hopefully. Are you predicting that because of the political season in November? I mean, this is worldwide, though. It's not just one country dealing with this. This is a worldwide recession slash. Well, they're not calling it a recession, so. And I'm not. I will say this: I'm not an economic expert. I did go to college and studied economics. I am certified to teach economics, so I have an understanding of what's going on. But I will say this: part of it is I'm not all the way informed about things. I'm not that I'm staying intentionally ignorant, but there are certain times when I really have to start tuning out some pieces of news. Just to get a vacation or a break from it all, and it seems like as soon as I do that, within a week later, there's like a ton of things that I missed. But when I feel like I'm watching it on a daily basis, I feel like nothing is happening differently. from day to day. Like an old Brian Regan joke where he says something about in the early 1900s, Adolf Hitler was rejected from art school. Turn to page 2b. And then the United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on the sovereign nation of Japan. He goes, this is some pamphlet. That's what it feels like the news has been like whenever I skip a week. I feel like I miss so much. Those are one of the great those are one of the great history what if questions. There are 2 questions that are really controversial actually that I've seen. Oh, I thought he respawned because I didn't kill him. I thought I killed him. Some people think this question should not be asked of high school students, and you guys can weigh in your opinion as well, because I don't want to dismiss anyone's opinion. But one of the questions I've seen asked in some of these curriculums are... The first question is, would you, if you were Harry Truman, back in 1945, you just took office, you learn about the atomic bomb, would you be able to make the decision to drop the bomb? Would you do what he did, or would you try to do something else, and why? The other question is, do you think he was justified in dropping the atomic bomb? Now, these are great historical questions for people to answer, but for some reason, some people have the opinion that, you know, this isn't a question you should ask of high schoolers, because that is one of life's greatest decisions. But the only thing I'm of the opinion of, the reason why I don't mind asking that of high school students, is because there's no wrong answer. This is a complete, oh, darn it. Yeah. Ah. George is getting upset. Alright, I'm just gonna... Oh. Where? Where is he? Ah, I thought I had him. Yep. I can't make it through this level without him. I played it too many times without it. So that's the thing. I'll ask the question to you guys. If you had to do that, would you do it? Retro Games has it. Whoa. Has what for 157? Correct. What happens in the UK comes... What happens in the UK comes to the USA. That's the truth. Oh, by the way, for those of you overseas, how about your Prime Minister resigning? I heard about that this week, and I was actually really shocked. Was this something that didn't come as a shock to you, or was this something that was like, yeah, we kind of saw it coming kind of thing? Oh, I can't... There he is. Yeah, I need to get both of them so I can get Squitter, I think his name is. Again, I don't want to get too political, and this is one of those things where I'm like, okay, this is a person who's been in a car wreck and seen some political turmoil. The world's been wanting to talk about our political thing, about how divided we are, and then I see 45 days? Is that how long that she served as Prime Minister? I mean, regardless of my own personal opinion, I'm not well enough informed to make a prediction about how long she would have lasted, but I was not expecting 45 days. Again, this is the... Darn it, why does he always run for a cliff? Everyone's like, that has nothing to do with Donkey Kong Country, why are you even bringing that up? Well, Donkey Kong, this version of Donkey Kong is British. I like how when they're, hanging on the wall here. I like how when they're hanging on the wall here, they start eating the honey if you don't move. That is very hard to pull off. A lot harder than I just let on about. Oh yeah, when you're standing on the honey. Nope. Didn't think I'd be able to get him, but... Hey, it's worth a shot. You never know until you try, isn't that right? It's kind of been my experience with this channel. I never knew how big of a success it would be unless I tried. Oh, I thought I'd just fall back down, so I wasn't too concerned with falling. Way higher than it used to be, 250 plus. Only have the Nintendo Switch. Around November, price to go down. We're still stuck on that one. My grandiose history questions are not a big hit with the stream. Is that what I'm seeing? All right. I should do a lot better when I have Squitter. This is not one of my favorite themes from here, but it's not terrible. There we go. My history questions and modern politics questions are not going anywhere. I can get behind that statement. Somebody said this wasn't their favorite soundtrack overall, that the first one was. But I did mention this one has some of my favorite tracks, but I think overall, I think it might be right. I think... Interesting. What's down here? I don't think I ever remember. I think this just goes back to the area I was just in, right? Or is this just a place to get more bananas? Ah, Donkey Kong coin. I'm like, I knew there was something else down here. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I haven't tried to 100% this game in so long, it's hard for me to remember why certain things are the way they are. Alright, now we should be able to get this bonus area. Oh. Gonna pay close attention to that. Like I said, we're living in a very interesting time. I remember, what was it? I did see a meme that I think a lot of us who've lived through the past like 15 years, especially, can. I was like, I'm really tired of living through all these historical, unprecedented events. I forgot who said that or what meme that was from, but I'm like, I felt that one. I will say this, in terms of video games, what a time to be alive. Getting the best of both 2D and 3D gaming in my lifetime. And basically being able to play almost any game I want at will. I can just think about it, and then within 30 minutes, without too much hassle, I'm playing it. Okay. I thought so. I thought there was something up here. Yep, because I've been through here before, just recently. And I failed miserably. And this is one of those ones where I don't want to fall. Because it doesn't just lead down to a lower area. I have no need for the G. Is there anything else I need out of here? Maybe the banana bunch. Banana bunch, G. Banana bunch, banana. Banana bunch, G. Banana bunch, banana. Banana bunch, G. Banana bunch, banana. Banana bunch. Helps if I say it out loud. Not sure what the question was. British viewers on their PM ain't British. Isn't that not a uniquely, but an American way to say you're not British? I ain't British. I don't know why that makes me laugh. Just the way I'm reading it, not the way that you said it. Alright, no, I didn't defeat the Brits back in 1776. I didn't clear my independence to be called no Brit. I don't know why that's just how I'm taking it. Other question about bombing Japan? Not sure on that either, being you weren't alive. Not sure how dire that war was. Well, here was the issue. And this is not to sway you one way or the other, just to give you some background. The issue with the war was that Japanese communities on the verge of being, we would have said, liberated by Americans, instead of surrendering, they were basically sacrificing themselves and committing ritual suicide rather than being... I should have jumped up there. There was a bonus room in there, wasn't there? So, if they knew that their village was about to be taken over by the Americans, they were just killing themselves and everyone else in the town, basically. Now, that's a generalization. There are a lot of people who can debate that and talk about it, I'll say, better than I can, because I've done my research, but again, it's been a little while and I don't have all my facts instantly citable. So, basically, there was this dilemma of how do we get them to stop committing this ritual suicide by telling them that you need to just surrender instead of doing that. And I think they said, it was, they tried to do estimates about how much, by sacrificing this group of people in these two cities, that they shortened the wars and saved more lives, even though it's an upfront cost of a lot of human life. And that it all comes down to how do you value a human life. And yeah, it's a tough question that I don't think anyone can really answer. There's no right answer to it other than what would you do during it. All you can say is what you would do. No. Oh! Look how close I was. Dang, you're airing your tight timer while I'm talking about massive casualties in World War II. Hopefully, I'm not going to have to use my knowledge of World War II and draw parallels with whatever it is we're heading towards now with all the unrest in other places of the world. I hope I don't have to make predictions like that because I don't know how I remembered that was there. Because I'm hoping for a peaceful resolution in the end of every dispute that's going on right now. I realize we may not get there with favorable terms to everybody, but... Ooh, that was really close. I didn't think I was going to make it. No! After all the times I was lucky, that's what did it? Yeah, I know, the so close thing. Oh, it kept the DK coin, so that's good. Yep, there's a lot of truth to that too. I actually keep drawing a lot of parallels to that, Heplo. With American involvement in the Middle... Oh, no. American involvement in the Middle East definitely has some parallels to what's going on in Ukraine. Just parallels. I'm not saying it's the same thing. Obviously, there are differences, but... I mean, Americans and... It used to be the Soviets, but I'll say Russians have been fighting in the Middle East and the Mediterranean region for a long time. I mean, what was that James Bond movie, The Living Daylights? That was the plot of that movie was, British and Afghanistan fighting against Soviets and using... I'll be able to do it. There was a barrel there? Aw. And of course, Bramble Scramble. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to save before that one. That one's a bit harder than the one I just did. Love how the C... Is that an L or an I? You have to be more specific, Damon. For me to understand. A lowly simpleton who's trying to use all of his brain power to play Donkey Kong Country 2. A game I have played and beaten several times, but still gives me anxiety every time. Oh yeah, the Mujahideen. There we go. I'm not very good at pronouncing names, if you guys haven't guessed. Oh yes, this is the debut level of Sonic, isn't it? Oh, why did I do that? The answer is because I should see it coming, and yet I don't. Yep. And if I had gotten the Now, if I'm right, there are certain parts of this level that will kill me and certain parts that won't if I just slide along the bottom here. Like that right there. I wasn't even looking at it. Tried occupying both countries, succeeded. Yeah, I mean, that's... putting other unstable governments in power. Yeah, it's interesting to see the results of our actions, and I mean, we definitely didn't get what we wanted. So we also, I mean, that's another question too. We can make a judgment of, was it worth it? Knowing that hindsight is 20/20. Now that we know exactly what the outcome was, I mean, would people now still support some of the things that we did? I don't know. Again, that's a question what it feels like for the ages. I will say this, though. When you're looking at things, one of the things I learned from my history professor, and this is true to the philosophy of this channel, if you haven't picked up on it yet, is that one of the measures of history is time. And if I'm quoting this correctly, it takes about 30 years to gain proper historical perspective on any one event. So even still, 9/11 was, what, 20 years ago-ish? Oh, this is going to be close again. Close again. There we go. But we got it that time. So even still, we've lived through it, and it's been 20 years. According to historical study, again, this is a quote that I'm trying to remember. I can't remember who it's from, but they said it would take 30 years to gain a proper historical perspective on something. If you haven't realized it, all the consoles I've covered in huge detail and talked about historical perspective are all almost 30 plus years old. The Super Nintendo, 30 years old. Same thing. Almost did the same thing. This game is almost 30 years old, so I'm getting to the point where I can talk about this and give it proper historical perspective. But I will say this, there are a lot of people who called this game all style and no substance. Pretty sure, based on what's happened the last 27 years this game has been out, pretty sure those can be laid to rest as an inaccurate representation of this game. What? This game is also some major BS sometimes. Oh, I was too impatient. So yeah, so keeping that philosophy, I try to keep that in anything I cover in huge detail. One of the games I covered a while back was, well, a couple of games I've already covered in depth on this channel that were less than 30 years old. Were Super Adventure Island. I tried to cover that a while back. Hydro Thunder, another game I tried to cover. I did games based on World War II, where I tried to do the first Call of Duty game. Even that seemed to be not retro enough for people. But then that also leads to another question. How old does something have to be before you consider it retro? And is retro only measured by how old a game is, or can that also be the style the game is in? So if it's a side-scrolling 2D platform game with pixelated graphics, is that game retro, or is that game modern with a different aesthetic? Come on. Here it is again. I don't know what they did there with the hitbox with these things. Really? You can't tell me they knew exactly where you would be with that. They have to make it just enough to make it just irritating. Just irritating enough. Oh yeah, that's another thing too. That's part of the reason why it takes 30 years to gain proper historical perspective on something. It could take that long before all the facts come out about something. I'm sure people back in the day when they talked about, like, you know, CIA operatives and doing stuff, there's a lot of classified documents that have since been released to prove or disprove certain theories about certain events, right or wrong. And that's something I never... Oh, jeez, why did I do that? I need both of my hit points for this. Is it getting warm in here, or is it just me? I already didn't get the K, so it does not... Yeah, I said those hit boxes. You can get really close and sometimes hit and sometimes not. This is the level I knew I was going to have problems with. Think you played the Cold War... You think you played the Cold War correctly? Germany had not invaded. Stalinist Russia wouldn't have made it out of the 40s. Oh, that's possible, yeah. I can see that. Maybe we wouldn't have ever been allied with Russia. The world would have been a much safer place if there was no such thing as weapons. Well, that's where you gotta blame Stanley Kubrick in 2001, right? The monolith gave us our first weapon, a club. And ever since then, we've just been trying to figure out how to bash each other over the head with it and take what we want, right? What's interesting is in college, I took a class. It's not necessarily a blow-off class, but it was a class that was meant to get you to think about something. It was a liberal arts class, and one of the things that we were required to do in this class was choose some science fiction novels to read. We also had to write our own little science fiction story. And one thing I liked about the science fiction story class is I am a big fan of science fiction. It gets you to think about conventional issues in unconventional ways. Partially the purpose of all science fiction, I would argue. But one of those things that I read was the story of the Sentinel. It was a short story written by the same author of 2001. And, oh, darn it. See, that's why I said I need both hit points. Whatever I do, don't fall asleep. Also, don't ride the line. Be the ball. But anyway, the story of the Sentinel was the original story treatment for 2001: A Space Odyssey. And I found it kind of strange that the monolith that's in there, the actual purpose of it was supposed to be like a little buoy marker that some alien race left on the moon so that they could find out if humans ever left Earth. And that's all we know about it. Whew. I can still die. Okay, but I didn't. That's an interesting thing, but the monolith in 2001 became something similar, but also we somehow make contact with those aliens. But yeah, but that's the question in that story is like, is that a good thing or a bad thing that now someone knows that we're out here? We don't know who they are, but they know that we're out here. That was kind of the big thing. That's like classic 1950s science fiction. Like, it gets you to think about, do aliens know that we exist and they choose not to visit Earth because they don't like us? Like that kind of a question. Maybe they tried playing Donkey Kong Country 2 and they got frustrated and like, why do they enjoy this? We can't possibly make contact with this alien species. Look at the size of those crocodiles. They could destroy us all. Yes, Arthur C. Clarke. Thank you. I was trying to think of his name the whole time. Kubrick was very pro-war. Really? I got that from Full Metal Jacket, but I kind of didn't get that from anything else. Like, Dr. Strangelove. So you saw that as pro-war. I saw that as pro-using the bomb. But I saw him using that as a measure to stop war. Or just showing the ridiculousness of it. Alright, last time I did this race, I got it done in one shot. Let's see if I can do this again. And no, I don't have to destroy each one, I just gotta jump over them. Oh, I was gonna see if I can destroy each one of them. This is also not one of my... Oh, this is also not one of my favorite themes. See? That's not the payoff there. Kubrick's actually pretty woke when you read some of the books on him, yeah. Kubrick, I will say this, was an interesting person. I don't know... A lot of people made the thing about the creative genius thing being about him. I don't know. I don't think that if you're a creative genius that you have to be an insensitive person. Like, insensitive towards some other people's feelings is what I meant. Alright, I need Dixie Kong, and apparently that's the only way I can get up here. Hopefully, this skips me to the end of the level, I don't have to complete the race. And someone said, am I a huge fan of Kubrick? I like a couple of his movies. Was I supposed to destroy everybody, or was the coin in there somewhere? I think I said destroy them all, and I did not destroy them all. I did like Full Metal Jacket. I also liked... It took me a while to like 2001. It was one of those movies I really wanted to like. I liked the production of the movie more than I liked the movie itself. That one had some substance to it. It wasn't all style and all substance, but the style definitely didn't hurt. Definitely some impressive visuals. He had a good eye for... Darn it! Again, this is where I need save states. He had a good eye for cinematography. I mean, that's where they talked about how he would plan a shot out was just insane. I'm not an expert in film photography and all that stuff, but I do know some basics of it. I know enough to be dangerous. As I said, it's kind of crazy to me that some of the links that he would go through to get a shot, but it's also crazy to me the links that other filmmakers go through to get a shot. I'm like Michael Bay on Transformers. I'm like, you know, you can just CGI everything in. I mean, it's just Transformers. It doesn't have to be... It doesn't have to be an Oscar-winning shot for every single angle. And yes, I loved the Transformers cartoon. Oops. I loved... I love things about Transformers lore. Not a fan of the Transformers movies. The one I actually liked the most is the one that a lot of people hated the most. The Mark Wahlberg the first one Mark Wahlberg was in. Shia LaBeouf's character. I mean, I've grown to like him as an actor off and on, depending on what he's in. But I did not like him in the Transformers movies. It could be that I didn't like his character. I just found him annoying more than anything. I'm like, why is he in these movies? That's one of those movies where it easily could have been a strong female character instead of a male character in that movie, in my opinion. But I also think, too, almost anything could have improved that movie. And the funny thing is, I don't mind, like, I mentioned Michael Bay, I don't mind his movies. The Rock is one of my favorite movies of all time. And that's one that he's done. Armageddon, was that also him? I joked for a while that Armageddon is one of my favorite movies. That one's like a guilty pleasure. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to win the race here. Every time I'm about to pass him... Oh, that was another... He keeps... There we go. I feel like I'm not going to win. Yep, third place. Do I have to get first to win? Or did I just have to get third? Oh, I thought I had to get first to win. You have no idea how many times I wanted to leave that level. I think I had that. And yes, I gotta save every time. It's the Final Fantasy thing. Armageddon is Bruckheimer. Well, Bruckheimer produced both of those. He was a close collaborator with, like, I think Michael Bay and Don Simpson movies and things like that. Like Top Gun, Beverly Hills Cop. He was a good movie producer, but I'm talking more about directors. I can't remember who directed. Pretty sure Michael Bay did. It seems like a Michael Bay movie on Armageddon. But of course, I had that Aerosmith song in there, and I love that Aerosmith song. That was actually one of my... I count it as one of my favorite songs. It's like an ultimate love song. Everyone can relate to at one point in time just wanting to sit there and watch their significant other sleeping or whatever. And it's just one of those things I'm just like, that's a sentiment I think we universally share. I'd also say this, any Aerosmith fans out there in general. There he is. This is the first level that includes Sonic. That's not what he's called. I forgot what his real name is, but I just like calling him Sonic. Because that is so obviously what it's supposed to be parodying. What? Why? I barely tapped the D-pad. Like, I was actually holding down, and then he ran... Dixie. I can't think of a single song by the Dixie Chicks, or else I'd be singing that every time I say the word Dixie. It'd be funny if they made the Sonic game over sound whenever you hit Sonic. The blue spinning spiky thingy. That's interesting. Oh, it's a two-player barrel. Well, that's what I needed. Not sure why I need that, but okay. Well, that's why I need it. Because all those guys. Alright, we'll have to do that. Dude looks like a lady. My throat's getting too dry and scratchy for singing at this point. Keep forgetting that I started this a bit later than usual. Was actually surprised to find out that Stalin ultimately won World War II. Well, and that's where a lot of predictions are coming up. I've seen a lot of predictions coming up that basically I don't know. I'm trying to phrase this in a way without saying things that'll get the chat flagged. Basically, the winter. What? Been a lot of what moments here. How dare this game try to kill me every time that it's programmed to. But basically, yeah, they're saying the winter may decide this current conflict. And that's actually a prediction of a whole bunch of historical... That's a whole bunch of historical things in the making. That's why, one of the reasons why Hitler didn't want to have a two-front war, darn it, was because basically no one has defeated Russia in winter in history, is what I'm alluding to. Does that sound right? Alright, this level's starting to make me angry. In Soviet Russia, video game play you. Hopefully that doesn't get me banned. If that's the comment out of everything that I've ever said that gets me banned, that would be very disappointing, wouldn't it? That's very disappointing for a couple of reasons. Every time I think I'm going to bounce off of that vulture. That's what keeps killing me there. It's the lack of something that I think is going to happen. Maybe I'm just getting tired. It could be. I started a lot later than I usually do. Yeah, I'm just getting impatient. Getting tired and impatient. I think it's time to turn on the cheats. I'm playing this game for a good how many hours now? Good 2.5 hours. Fudge. Fudge and a half. Mm. What in the wide world of sports was that about? That's the first time that ever happened. All right, we're gonna get through this eventually. There we go. See, if I'm patient and I stop making little silly mistakes like what I just did there. They just don't rush through it. I almost made it through that. That'll be the title of my autobiography. I almost made it. I'll put that on my tombstone, along with pepperoni and cheese. I almost made it. Well, there went my second player. Really? He just dies when he does a spin move into Sonic. Well then. I guess that answers the question, who's more powerful, Sonic or... There we go. Sonic or Diddy Kong? How about this, Sonic or Donkey Kong? Ah! Made it that time. There we go. Bonus room. Am I supposed to be destroying these things? Okay, I would really like to hit somebody with these at one point in time. And somehow I still made it. Oh my goodness. So, anything big coming up this week for anybody else? Trying to think of what I've got going on next week. My high school football team, who I do the clock for on Monday nights, which is one of the reasons why I had to change the night I stream. They made it into the playoffs, so first round of that will be coming up here. We have a freshman game on Monday. Oh yeah, there's the DK coin there. And then our first playoff game is this next Friday, so we got that coming in here. We need Superman to save the world. You know what? We need a better Superman game for that too, don't we? Clubba's Kiosk. I don't think I've earned enough of those yet. Have I earned enough DK coins to go to Clubba's Kiosk? Now, here's the thing too. I never know where to go here. It makes sense now. I always wondered why, in this level especially, they didn't do the dotted pathways that they did in Donkey Kong Country. Because there's some times where I can't figure out where to go. Just sometimes. And apparently, that's one of the gripes that the development team had against Donkey Kong Country 1, is they didn't like the dotted pathways. They wanted it to blend more seamlessly in the background. The best way that they did that was in Donkey Kong Country 3. In this game, there's a couple of times where it's kind of hard to tell where to go. That's why they have these arrows that pop up. But like right here, there's no defined path. Here there is. Well, I knew I can get down there somewhere, but I didn't helicopter like I thought I would. So let's try that again, shall we? Oh, I can't helicopter at all off of those things. Off of the walls. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but my controller is... I am forcing these buttons down as hard as I can to make sure that I can make these jumps. I don't think I can go that way. I don't feel like there was ever a good way to go that way. And I just keep falling. There we go. Now I'm back at the beginning of the... Ha! I heard somebody say, I had a thought the other day when I heard somebody say something about, because when you said that comment about the Tsar, I really think to myself, you know, there are certain things that people would take offense to if they heard that. But I also think, too, I'm like, this is conversations people used to have, and they used to make them like, they would make off-the-cuff comments like that. But they all used to take place in what I would call the old people coffee shop, or the barber shop, I guess. Come on, I'm trying to jump, but it's not letting me. And I'm right. Ooh. Let's just do this. Oh, I'm all the way... I got all the way down here. I didn't want to do that. Oh, that was close to being dead, I think. I need like a map for this level, but anyway. I guess now that those conversations are online, I don't know if we can have those type of conversations anymore. I tried to jump. Way too late. And I keep forgetting I can't helicopter off of that thing. Go ahead and cry, Dixie. Cry all you want. Let it out. Not of the game Red Faction? I think it's getting to the point, folks. I'm either getting too tired, or either way. I promised you to show you guys the game with cheats. I think now is the time to do it. So let me get this muted for a second. I played this a lot farther without cheats than I thought I would, but I knew for the King Zing boss I was going to have to cheat on it again. I'm not beating that one again anytime soon on the stream. My first reaction when I said that was, hey, I'll never have to play this level again. That's how I get myself to do this. It's also, to me, it's warm in here, so I'm going to open up the door and get some fresh air in here as I'm at it. Oh yeah, it's a little warm in here. Warmer than I like it. There we go. Oh no. Now we got some fresh air moving down here. I did say, is it getting warm in here or is it just me? Right. Configuration. Game settings. Let's hope this doesn't crash the game like the other one did to DKC1 when I tried it. Find my cough button again. I'll have to get a different keyboard so I can have that go. Load my save. And if I'm right, I should now be able to skip levels. We'll see. And I should be have infinite lives as well. There we go. Oh yes, I need to hit the stinger. Yeah, see that? I'm invulnerable. You have no idea how much of a guilty pleasure this is. You can't get me. As much trouble as I had on this last stream. Whew. This is, to me, everyone else is like, why would you cheat at this? I'm like, you have no idea how much fun this is. I hate this boss with a passion. Now watch, this boss becomes self-aware that I'm cheating at the game and decides to come after me and still hurt me. And then, this happens. Come at me, bruh. Oh, that is satisfying. I know I just cheated at it, but that is satisfying to me. Oh. How many times that edited my playthrough? Oh. But now that's the sad thing, is that I have to keep that cheat on, even though I just wanted to get through that level. Until I can, what's up there? I can still die by falling off of cliffs, but that's pretty much the only thing that'll kill me now. I'll have to be careful about that. But now those little stupid mistakes that I've been making because I've been so tired will no longer matter. This is a great level for Halloween as well. Nice! I got the bonus room. It takes the pressure off of me. Love the cheats on Silent... There's cheats on Silent Hill 3? I'll have to look that up. I do have a Game Shark for that. This bonus room, where you have to destroy a thing a whole bunch of times on an indestructible enemy, happens a lot. Until I decided to play this, I may play this all the way through tonight, now that I have the cheats enabled. We'll have to see. Oh, so close. We'll get there. Perfect. See, there's no cheat for that. Unless there's infinite jumping. But I don't have it turned on if there is such a thing. What's this? Oh, the G is hidden there. See, that would have killed me. I was messing around with The Sims 4 today. Mega load all the way. Now, what does that mean? Okay, mother load all the way. I gotcha. What were you playing The Sims 4 on, OXO? Oh, here's one that I can still die in. This one also scared the heck out of me as a kid. This was also one of the levels that would end my playthrough. Because when I rented this game, every time, I don't know if the clerk did this or if the next person that rented it, they always deleted all of my game saves. All of the game saves. I would save my progress to all of them, and I was like, okay, it'll at least have it through, and then I'd get it the next time, and it'd be all erased. I think it was because they kept wanting me to keep renting the game. Like, well, if he beats it, he won't keep running it, so we just need to keep erasing his game save. I should also look up and see. I did try this in the past. That's how I knew you could check out some things online. I didn't know if you could do movies and TV shows. But in my local library, there's a library branch around me that has... That's interesting. I feel like I'm way later in this level than I usually am. This early in the game. Nope, not even at the halfway point yet. Anyway, I found out you can check out Nintendo Switch games. Oh, jeez. From one of the local libraries. They won't interlibrary loan them? Ooh. Oh. We're gonna find out. No, he can't get me. Oh, this is awesome. Look at that. You have no idea how much of a guilty pleasure that is. Just because all the times I've played this level and I've died because of some stupid mistake, now I don't have to worry about it. I can just do whatever I want in this level. As long as I don't fall off. Oh. Yeah, I made one stupid mistake. I shouldn't have to die from the one stupid mistake. And there it is. Xbox Series S? Oh, okay. I was wondering, because that's, I was wondering if because I keep forgetting OXO if you're on PC or console with that. I prefer The Sims on PC, but that's just an old choice. I haven't played The Sims probably. I know I played The Sims 3 at one point. But I don't remember playing, Oh yes, here we go. Yep. Wind all the way. Oh my gosh. These little platforms are a pain. Just because you can easily slip and slide off the edge of these. Pretty sure that would have been a death. A? Oh, did I miss? I missed an animal, buddy. So how is it using a controller for the interface rather than a... oh, jeez. Whew. That wind. That feels like how windy it was today in central Illinois / Iowa. Not played Sims in ages, but see it on Game Pass. Oh, that's true. I did get Game Pass again because I don't know if I told you guys this, but I, for the first time in a very long time, invested in a Windows gaming PC. It's an economy model. Yep, there we go. So it's not the best. It's not like a 3090 or 4090, whatever. And it is a laptop. But the only reason why I got it is because it was so cheap. It has... It has an RTX 3050 in it. Oh yes, that could have got me the... Yep, I just went out of that. So it has an RTX 3050 in it, the mobile edition, so that's no slouch. It has a 6-core, 12-thread i5 processor in it, middle of the road. So it should be able to play most games well. It's not going to do 4K 165 hertz, but it's going to play most PC games that I missed out on. And I have a backlog of games that I've purchased or gotten through Epic Games that have been free. Like right now, Fallout 4, you can get on Epic Games for free. Fallout 3, sorry. So I'll have a backlog of games to play on there. Now the question I have now is in what time. I also plan on using that to render some video stuff for the channel. We'll see how it goes, but eventually I'm going to use it for that as well. So, and I figured for the price I had some rewards to use. Oh, here we go. Oh yes, this is another one of the levels I'm going to be glad I'm cheating on. This whole level is a pain in the patoot. And it could help, just based on the fact that my anxiety level's way down. This is the first time I played this level, and I'll enjoy it. I'm like, ah, no way to kill me. Don't stop me now. Oh, there's something. Oh, I can walk on honey when I'm holding my buddy? Or is this... Okay, no, I was gonna say, or is this is this part of the cheat? Yes, this is fun just because this fulfills like a childhood fantasy of being able to play this level without having to worry about any of the stuff that can kill me. Oh, there was a place I needed to go there, but that's alright. That's the first time I've ever gone for those banana peels. Ah. That's right. We're gonna get this bonus room. We missed the other one. We might as well get at least one of them. But anyway, what I was alluding to, that Game Pass comment reminded me because I got another free month out of Game Pass because I decided to get a laptop. And by registering it with my Xbox Live account, I now have Game Pass for PC. And if I'm right, I think the last time I was on there, I played SimCity 4. That was one of the things on Game Pass that I played because I had EA access and game with Game Pass in there. Oh, I should have went for those coins. Why didn't I? No reason not to. I don't know. The challenge is the reason why, partly the reason why this game has held up so well. But then also, I'm like, for the first time in my life, I'm enjoying this level. This level is always a chore to get through. Would have died there. Actually, that one was not too bad. I would have died before this. Like I said, it's just the fact that these things aren't killing me. I wish I had a Game Genie back in the day. Oh, I see what we're doing here. What I really wanted was that coin, though. I need the coins. Well, Funky's Flights is now available. Save this again. I can at least still save my progress. As long as I have the coins. I don't like how they made you pay. Just to conserve your save RAM, they made it to where you have to pay. I love the soundtrack of this level, but I do agree. I don't know. I feel like there's been too many of these style of levels in a short period of time. Oh. I say, is this where I need to go? Yep, here's my squitter. You're making me want to play Sims, though. I think the last time I played Sims was for my Xbox in HD review. That's another thing that I reviewed before the 30 years. Ooh. Alright, I noticed that earlier too. It's almost like there's a glitch with the webs. Either that or maybe my A button's malfunctioning. Just think of all the gray hair I wouldn't have if I had this code back in the day. I remember somebody at one point in time had likened the cheat code user to, why don't you just have a beat the game for me button? Because if there's no challenge, why would you even play? The camera system in this level is a bit off in certain places. For some reason, they cut off certain parts of the screen and make it not accessible to you. Alright, it's pointing me back. I can't remember why. I definitely cannot remember why it was pointing me back. Probably a bonus room somewhere back there. The fact that these things can't kill me just... This could have saved years of frustration off of my life. True, the experience of actually beating the game without cheats is not something I trade for the world, but man, this is like, how many times did I dream of this? Whew. Sorry to go on and on about how I'm cheating at the game and how enjoyable it is for me. Hopefully it's enjoyable for you to watch. It's one of those things where really all I'm trying to do is just recapture footage for a game I've already beaten several times, and I know it's frustrating as all get out. Oh yes, this is also another one of those. Can I jump on these things? I can't remember. Yes, I can. That was pretty clever to have him come back as a dead ghost bird. As I say, is this going to make me stuck? Enjoy that. That could be another Russian/GoldenEye reference there. I am invincible. I like how he's scared of you every time. There we go. Destroyed the dead bird. You're loving it, Mr. Chamia? I am too. Like I said, this is like a dream come true. We're almost done with the game. And again, you can see again, this is a track that kind of grew on me after a while. But it took some oh my gosh. But it took some time to grow on me. It's a nice little relaxing theme after all of that you just went through in the last stage. And it gets rid of all those surprise enemies that could just instantly kill you. Just because you can't remember that they were coming around the corner. Like those starfish. That pufferfish. I just like how this game blends in the ability of you to, oh, why not get the O? I didn't get the K, though. How sometimes you ride your animal buddies, and sometimes you just are your animal buddies. Oh, so close. So many times I've said that in this game. There's the DK coin. What's down here? Bonus barrel, I'm sure? Nope. Actually. Yep. Just making sure that wasn't a wall I can get through. Ooh! That's pretty good. How far back can I go? Apparently not that far. And I got a banana. This is why it's hard to do the long plays, but we're gonna try to tough it out. Oh yeah, Monkey Museum. I haven't actually visited the Monkey Museum yet. I'm gonna say hello to your old grandpappy Cranky. I'm back by popular demand to offer you a wealth of game playing wisdom. Well, since this is my first time here, almost every game hint is free. Oh, I gotta stand up and stretch, sorry. You know what's really gonna be fun are the tower climbing levels. Just because those levels are usually hard and oh, windy well. We gotta go through this first though. I know I could get those coins without much effort. There we go. Get that. Still didn't get the K. Look at that. Ooh, how do I get that? Just like that. I almost look like I could get that without the cheats. But I wouldn't have tried it without them. Destroy them all. Come on. So how do I get past that monstrosity? Interesting. Fun. That would have killed me. Oh, I'm a squawks. Hmm. Didn't have to worry about that at all. This is probably where I get squawks. Yep. And for some reason, I get the squawks that can shoot eggs, even though that doesn't really have any bearing on this level. Oh, I didn't get high enough. Would you just look at those sums those Kremlings have done? Oh, the Kremlings got the math problems wrong. 2 hours and 1 minute. The majority of this without cheats. We got to the Hornet Hole level. Gloomy Gulch was all with cheats. There we go. Donkey Kong Island's even starting to look a little impeccable these days. This is a very underrated theme. Again, pulling back that 3D background a little bit from the earlier stages. Nice little callback. Oh, I should have ran all the way over there. Oh, that was terrible. That would have instantly killed me. This part right here. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Just fills you with the kind of dread that this level kind of evokes. This little marching theme. A little bit grandiose and epic in scale. And that's where Rambi would have come in handy. What? I killed him? I'm supposed to be invincible, and yet I killed by Diddy Kong. Ooh, that would have killed me. Oh, that was really close. I'm just really enjoying the theme at this point. OXO said, am I going to do a Halloween stream? That's an interesting proposal. I'll let you guys know. Well, I guess we're getting close to the end of the stream anyway. I'm pretty sure I'm going to try. I'm just going to say I'm going to try. That would be Monday, and it all depends on how everything's going in terms of the schedule of my life, because right now Mondays haven't been working out. I might have some things going on Sunday. If I don't do a Sunday stream, for sure. If I do a Sunday stream, can't tell you for sure. I definitely have some more... Yeah, this thing is terrible. I definitely have some more, whatchamacallit, games to capture. There we go. Good grief. That's why I said I'm getting more tired than even I realize. That's what I wanted. As usual, 3 hours have flown by. That's awesome, OXO. Thanks for sticking around for the whole thing. You were in the chats, I think, first, right? And Mr. Tamia, you guys are both here since the beginning. I'm glad I could do something that all of you find entertaining. I liked this game mechanic, too, of being able to, freeze the ice. In one of them, you're trying to thaw the ice out to make it tolerable for you to walk on. Come on. There we go. Okay, there is one there. Banana was holding the marker. Yep, Leslie's been in and out today. It's been a good stream. We're getting close to the end of the game, though. I think we're going to beat it on stream tonight. I mean, there's no doubt we can beat it, only because, you know, the cheats are on, so that's we can obviously see the game's ending. And getting almost 4 hours of footage this time with sound is welcome. Well, there is a way to slide underneath there, isn't there? Yeah, just like that. Getting those coins saved up. Does anybody have to get up early for work tomorrow? This is actually past my bedtime. I usually don't stay up past 10:45 because I'll get up, which is what the time right now for me is 10:52 Central Time. Oh, look at that. Wait a minute. I say, how do I jump on that? What kind of thing is that? Come on. Huh. So since I try to get 8 hours of sleep. Doesn't always happen. Not sure what that is. Oh, I bet you it's supposed to give me a cannonball of some sort, it looks like. No, the cannonball's here. First time I've grabbed that bonus for a while. No, you're on benefits. Well, that's good. I will say I don't mind staying up late tonight because I was up late the night before, so... How do I... Oh, this is terrible. Yeah, there's no way I can do that. Do I have to defeat them or just find the coin? I guess I should have looked at that. But usually I have to get up at about 6:30, 6:45. Oh, just find the token, so I don't even have to defeat anything? Why the heck am I trying to do that then? Found it! I really like the theme on this level, if you didn't hear me say that before, Leslie. One of my favorite tracks throughout the entire franchise is this one. I feel like it's overlooked only because... only because a lot of people don't make it this far in the game. Or haven't made it this far in the game. Something's supposed to be up here? Huh. Apparently that was the harder route. This is the easier route. Don't care. Just go, we'll see if there's any bonus rooms on either side. I could crash the game because how many times it's trying to get me to die. Nothing over there, just go right through it. Ah, I don't know how many times that I missed that was the midway checkpoint because I wouldn't venture off to the side once I got there. Same with that. It's nice because now I can explore the levels and just see all the things that I've missed because I was too focused on just getting to the end goal. These gremlins are like, what the heck? Someone used cheats. Oh, look at that. I can clip through the wall. Didn't know that either. If you missed it, Leslie, I also turned on cheats because I was tired of all of Donkey Kong's stuff here. Yeah, stuck on a level, and I'm like, all I gotta do is just recapture footage of a game I've already beat several times. So I played it for as far as I could, without enabling the cheats. I'm pretty sure I have to go back down, don't I? Yep. And the goal is to not be overlapping these hornets every single time, or stingers, whatever they're called. Could have been a coin there of some sort. I still haven't figured out what that one is supposed to be. Oh, that's right. Bananas are fine. It's okay, you can't get this far. I have a long time ago, it's just I had no desire to. This would have taken me over an hour to get through these levels. They're just, I didn't get to them too often as a kid, so they're not like ingrained into my brain. This level can be insanely difficult. Yes, 2 of these right in a row. There's one of these where it's hard for me to get through it because I'm not as good with these animal buddies as I should be. Also, like that right there could have been a game-ending move because of this. Now I cannot see where I'm going. Now I need to die. Well, there's the K. Can anybody make out anything of where I'm supposed to jump? Trying to figure out how to die. This is the very beginning. They didn't expect me to be able to make it through here, so... Oh yeah, this is again, I can kind of see on the game screen, but not on my other one. There's not enough contrast. See? This jump here. That's hard for me to make. I think we might have to reset the game. That's a shame. It's one of those things where our cheats have bricked us. Now I'll just have to go back in and start this over. I know. It's one of those things where even the cheats can make you lose the game. Serves you right, Tyler, for using cheats. And yes, I'm going to skip that level this time. And of course, the one time I didn't save my progress till we go there. I should be able to skip every level that I don't want to complete. It's like here, I don't have to go through this level again. Flapper's Cavern again. Chainlink Chamber again. There's Toxic Tower. Stronghold Showdown. Oh, that's the easiest level to beat in this game. Told you we were almost done with it. Oh, I didn't capture it. Should I save first? I can save here once I beat this level. Screech's Spirit. Now this is an interesting level. Sonic is no threat to us now. Oh yeah, there's certain parts of the level that will start wigging out too, because we're not usually supposed to be able to get there. Oh, thanks, Sonic. Sonic was helpful there. What? I died? That's not supposed to happen. I have invincibility on. That's why I said, sometimes the cheats can really brick the game. You can imagine you have to have both Kongs in this too, because you're supposed to helicopter down it. That was weird. It was. And it's all because they didn't program it, because they're like, oh, well, we don't need to make things visible because there's no way you can recover if you fall into the green toxic goo. Now the key is getting through this level. It's not just about surviving through it. Also about getting through the race before Squawks gets there. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, come on. I'm pretty sure there's no way for me to win now. All the bananas. I don't think there's a way I can beat Squawks now. Oh, there he is. No! I died. Oh, because he finished. He finished the race. It's alright, we'll get there. Is this pre-Flappy Bird? Yeah, pretty much. It's because it went off screen? Could be. But the key is now I've got to figure out the right race course through here. Follow the bananas, Tyler. And don't get the DK coin, that's what messed me up. Do I have to get the DK coin every time and get first? I'm wondering right now how I ever beat this level without cheats. Used to play this level for hours on end. I would have to get up enough lives, because I would have died. Because I would have died before. Now I can save. Hope you're better behaved than those reptiles. I even caught this one sharpening his sword in class yesterday. Oh, they charge a coin to be able to save. Captain K rule. I don't have 3 coins. Goodbye, deities. And here we go. I think our next one is the K rule duel, which will be the easiest one because I have invulnerability on there. This is another underrated theme. This does make this battle a lot easier. Could have went back and turned off cheats before I did it. But then I'd be dead right here. Now here's the real battle. This is like the Battletoads tunnel sequence. And I'd already be dead. Several times over. Even that one, I don't know why I screwed up that one. What? Still not dead yet. Then he somewhat goes transparent, disappears. Ooh. I think I'm gonna break the game because I came into contact with that. Nope. Somehow survived. Oh. Oh yes. And then this, look at this. It reverses my control scheme. As I'm trying to avoid this. How many times is he gonna get up? And then Donkey Kong frees himself. There we go. Oh, and the sharks came and got him. I knew you did it, Diddy, my boy. But how could you fail, having learned all you knew from your old cranky here? See you later, alligator. That's right. In a while, little Kremling. You've rescued that lazy grandson of mine and dumped K. Rool in his own something or other. Of course, if I'd been playing, I'd make sure that K. Rool never tries a cheap trick like this again. Hinting to the secret ending. We could see the secret ending if you want. We can do that too, after doing all this. Because we have the level skip code. I'm pretty sure it'll let me past Klubba. I'd also recommend I find all the Krem coins and completed all that too. A real player such as myself would have found them plenty, I'm sure. I like how Cranky is always bad-mouthing you as you play the game. Let's see how good you did, eh? Oh, look, there's Mario. Zelda and Yoshi. Ha! I've got a second screen. Is that their own Mario one, or is that the one they were using for Super Mario RPG? And then look, they even did the 3D model of Link. I'll buzz off and see if you can find some more. Well, that is the stream tonight. Of course, we're going to watch the credits here, but a couple things to work on. I am working on another video. I don't know. I don't know what's going to come out first, platformers or Donkey Kong Country. I did say that was Link. Didn't I say Link? Thought that was Link, not Zelda. Cat O' Tails, that's what they called Sonic. And then the little oil drum in the background. I don't know what the oil drums are in reference to, other than the first game had oil drums for no reason. Is this the first time of any of you seeing the end screen on, whatchamacallit? Donkey Kong Country 2? Sorry if I ruined it for you. Especially with the cheats. The last levels are challenging, and that's one of the reasons why I keep coming back to it, but again, in the stream, I just want a nice, relaxing game to play. And of course, knowing how to go through the levels helps out. First time seeing it, Leslie? Oh, sorry to ruin it for you, but it is a good game to play. If you have Nintendo Switch, definitely play through this on Nintendo Switch Online. The save states keeps the ridiculous difficulty from getting too bad. You can just save a state and start from wherever you want in the level. Which is what I do normally, but since this is on original hardware, I had to use the Game Genie cheat to be able to have invincibility and skip past any level I didn't want to finish. Clamp on. Clamp off. All the Kremlings have the K on there. Which is interesting. I didn't know. Does Rare own all of the rights to Mr. Tamiya? You as well? I don't know if you guys know this or not, but so the Kremlings was a creation of Rare. It was supposed to be for a different game. They put it in Donkey Kong Country. I'm assuming that Rare then owns the rights to the Kremlings, and they can't use them in any other games. That's probably why they didn't bring them back, or they would have had to pay license to Rare or something like that. Is that why they didn't bring back the Kremlings for Donkey Kong Country Returns? That I don't know. Game Genie is great. I know, like I said, it's a game I've played so many times before. I don't mind replaying it, but I just replayed it again so recently that I just need to get footage captured, so I'm making a whole bunch of excuses to say, the game's too hard and I want to cheat. I will defend it the whole time, though. Interesting, Mr. Khan, yes. Khan! That's even another K name for the Kremling. Khan! Captain K. Rule. Oh, the animal buddies. And if you'll notice the names here, Rambi. Then there's... oh gosh, On Guard is the fish, right? Yeah, swordfish, there he is. Espresso is not in here. Ratley is the snake. I don't like Ratley. Squitter, I was right. Another reason to emulate. Oh yeah, licensing is a nightmare, yep. Flapper, Squawks. Glimmer, that's the name of the fish that does the light in the cave. I played through probably a good 2/3 of this game without cheats, though. Swanky. Oh yeah, I never visited Swanky's bonus games. I never really cared for his bonus games, to tell you the truth, though. I can probably show that here in a little bit. Funky's Flights, didn't have to use him either. Wrinkly Kong. Sorry, I didn't even do that right in the mic. Cranky is getting older. Donkey. Donkey! Dixie, a lot of people, have some mixed feelings about Dixie Kong. I really like her game mechanic, though. If you don't like the character, you can at least appreciate that hover helicopter thing keeps this game a lot more interesting. Scurvy Kong crew. Here comes the head programmer and all them. So, some background that I do know about this game. You want to see the secret ending, Damon? We'll get there. We have to wait for the credits to run all the way through, though, because I have to capture it, too. And this is some awesome music, too. And this is a nice ending. Oh my gosh, I just went through all of that, and now I finally beat the game kind of music. Very appropriate. But a couple things about this game is that they were working on a concept for this game before the first Donkey Kong Country came out. They didn't start making it until after Nintendo gave them the green light, which was like, I want to say just a couple of weeks after the game launched. It was a huge success. So they immediately started working on this game, and they busted their rear ends to get Donkey Kong Country done on the time. You don't think I'm spoiling anything, Leslie? That's good. They in an insane amount of time from concept, because they invented everything that was needed to make this game. They invented the compression technique. I mean, it was adapted from other things that people did to compress graphics down, but they had to come up with the tools to compress the graphic. They had to come up with the tools to render the graphics first. They used Power Animator and another program on those Indigo graphics workstations. First, they had to come up with a program that could animate them and do what they needed to do on it. All that stuff was just really hard for them to do. There's Silicon Graphics in there. Then they had to invent a way to compress all the graphics down. The sound, the level design, all that stuff took a lot of time. And they were very motivated after the first game. And of course, it was noted that it's incredibly... Rare really pushed every programmer to get 100+% out of all their employees, so... It really took a toll on the team. When they finished this game, it was so much of a time crunch to get it done. They had to recreate a whole bunch of assets. They were perfecting their process. That's why a lot of this crew didn't work on Donkey Kong Country 3. More so than, oh, they just didn't want to do anything with it. So. Alright, let's see what we're doing here. I press start. Will that take me back to the beginning? Yeah, Sega was on a wild goose chase. And then that's why when Nintendo saw this, and they're like, when people see this, and they see they don't have to get an add-on, like that was the 1-2 punch. They were like, these graphics on stock hardware without enhancement chips will beat Sega that way. Alright, so that's the Flying Croc. Oh, I got the DK coin on it. Alright, so where's Clubba? This is a good theme, too. I used to crank this back in the day. Oh no! Do I have to reset the game? Probably do. Because I didn't have access to Funky's flights, I can just choose a different world that already has Clubba in it. Perhaps a world I've already beaten. And... there, Clubba's Kiosk. Ha! I can fight him. Let's see what happens when you fight him. It's hilarious. He just beats you out of there. Get lost and fetch me lots more treasure, ye scurvy dogs. I got 40 of those already? I can't believe that. That's, only 2 levels worth, though. So this is the Lost World. You guys want to see any of these levels, too? I don't know how well I'm going to be at them. I don't know how well I have to be at them. You can kind of get an idea of how difficult these levels would be. Like how I get my own little... This can be challenging. Even with the cheats. See? Like that. So there's that level. Oh! I don't have unlimited lives here. I'm gonna have to, Crocodile Core, here we go. Total Sega fanboy, but yes, 100% correct. Oh look, he survived it, and he even shot fish out of his cannon. And then here's the Battletoads tunnel. He just keeps getting faster and faster. Look at how many of these you have to survive before you can actually hit him. Ooh, that would have got me. That little pre-rendered background GIF. There's my first. That's it. All it takes is one hit. I feel like that would have been easier to survive without the cheats. And now, secret ending. Hey, Ring Fit Master, welcome to the stream, by the way. Don't know if you're a Sega or a Nintendo fan, but we'll just say you enjoy both their systems. I like the fact that we don't have to choose nowadays. Nice going, kid. I reckon that the true video game hero would have finished it all. Because I don't have all the DK coins. Let's get out of this miserable dump and get back to Donkey Kong Island. Let me see again. Sonny, let's see if you've improved your hero status, shall we? Nope, I don't have... I didn't take the place of Link. Oh, not too good at finding my coins, are you? You might be a hero, but you still got some catching up to do. Yes, sirree. And here it is. Watching crumbling islands sink into the ocean from your own island. Ah, K. Rool still escaped? Oh. And if I'm right, I think the... Nope, that's it. Not even the credits roll again. When your eyes are burning, that's about time to do it. Yeah, great art at the end. But it's great that you get that for 100%ing the game. Because usually you would have to 100% the game to get there. Don't know if you need all the DK coins to get that ending. Well, folks, that's all she wrote for this stream. We got through the entire game of Donkey Kong Country 2. And believe it or not, folks, I have the same problem with Donkey Kong Country 3. So I'm pretty sure in the next stream, if I don't get to it before then, I'll probably be doing the same thing for Donkey Kong Country 3 next time. Whether or not I... and that was that Smart People Like Both and PC Engine. That's a pretty good idea. Same now as a school kid, you were totally in Camp Sega. Yep. Inclined to say Nintendo because Nintendo introduced me to video games, but Sega... But Sega-ness of Sega in the 90s is just so hilarious and awesome. Yes, that is kind of... I think we were all introduced... A lot of us were introduced to what video games would become through Nintendo in the entertainment system. I always say... I don't know, the Sega Master System won the 8-bit war for me, but... obviously, the Nintendo Entertainment System was very big thing on there. Reminds me of a streaming conversation we had. You want lots of consoles in competition. Yep. B for banana. Oh yeah, we've had a lot of good conversations with that console war here. Turn that off so I don't have Blue just staring me in the face this whole time. Hopefully this doesn't shut down the stream. Sometimes it does when I turn off that thing. There we go. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys joining me for the stream. I don't know if I'll have a video ready for this week. I did have a short that posted. At least last week. I only had time for one. and it's a very short snippet actually from another video. But a lot of people seem to like it, so maybe I'll do that again next week if we do it. Thanks everyone for joining me. I hope you guys have a great week. If I don't have a video on Thursday, I hope to see you guys back here next Sunday night or Monday night for the next stream. Have a great night, everyone. Have a great week, and keep on gaming.